Yo, is that Jack Doherty and his parents? Yo, how does it feel that your son's the most hated kid on the internet?
Where'd you come from?
Yo, he's like,
I'm the most hated kid on the internet. Why are you at my door?
yo, he's broke, he's banned, he kissed the Island Boys.
Just go.
Yo, you really felt.
Jack Doherty built his entire career on daring the internet to hate him, and if the latest revelations from his ex-girlfriend McKinley are any indication, he's still not interested in being saved.
Is me as hard as he can into the wall. He's like, you're a stupid fucking whore, you fucking whore, and he's spitting on me. I was terrified. I didn't know if he was about to beat the shit out of me. We had guns.
Jack has turned every bridge he has burned into a view, every outrage or taunting into a thumbnail.
Most infamously, Jack Doherty. Working with him, I got to see the crazy sides of him that no one else will ever get to see. And today, the truth comes to light, and I'm exposing it all for everyone to know.
And now he's found out the hard way. The kid who once tiptoed through the day after Halloween prank morphed into the guy flooring a McLaren in the rain while reading chat, smashing into a barrier on stream, and still pointing a camera at his bleeding camera guy. Because content always comes first, and at least his Richard Mill is still okay.
I don't know how to feel right now, guys. I'm sad, bro. I'm so sad right now. Sadness can't even express how sad I actually am. At least my Richard Mill is still okay. Just kidding.
He used to celebrate getting kicked out of Walmart. Now the fallout looked like police lights, lawsuits, and platform bans stacked like trophies for a sport he could no longer afford to play. The pattern wasn't subtle, but it was clear as daylight. When his kick numbers didn't add up, a dashboard caught what many called robot views, a graph lurching upward with almost no chat to match. He waved it off by saying haters are broke, go talk in the sponsor chat, but the receipts didn't care what he thought. A week later, he was live on Twitter promising to buy meme coins, before loading into a token minted an hour earlier and named after his latest crash. He then went quiet and viewers watched the chart do exactly what everyone feared. He ended the stream, the coin cratered, and the accusations of a rug pull wrote themselves. The next day, he tried it again. And in times when clout didn't come easy, he forced it. In Los Angeles, a stream sniper slapped him. Jack and his bodyguard swung back.
You're getting chips everywhere. All right. Enough.
Kick dropped the hammer with another ban, another rant, another bridge gone. Many were left wondering how he was still streaming with all the trouble he had caused and been in. This wasn't an isolated flare-up. Months earlier, outside a Halloween party, his guard leveled a man with a single shot to the face. This led to a collapse onto concrete that later reappeared in a personal injury lawsuit describing a 2-on-2 let's fight taunt, a punch, and a creator who continued to monetize the clip while the plaintiff counted stitches and legal fees. Even his insurer wanted out of the smoke. Filings showed State Farm asking a judge to detach them from the mess entirely. The money machine that kept everything spinning was uglier up close. Shorts cut to the exact cadence kids click on "Don't talk in the mic" and "I'll buy you whatever you want." Candy-coated errands through Target and toy aisles pinned beneath links to OF pages.
Don't talk into the mic and I'll buy you whatever you want. Do you understand the rules of the game? Before you start, can you just tell them your name? Oh, you almost got me. All right.
When scrutiny tightened, the mask slipped. On No Jumper, he tried the redemption lines of his calmer, now learned a lot.
Reflect on that and probably not do that again, or try to learn from it. But yeah, I mean, live streaming like your whole life, obviously everyone makes mistakes. So it's just like, when you do, at least the whole internet can talk shit and you can learn from it.
Yeah.
He then insisted most girls he signed were older than me, only for McKinley to allege he'd threatened to send her home if she didn't start an OF.
He also has these girls in his videos that are all signed to his agency, and he takes a majority of their income and pays them a small salary, a small fraction of what they bring in. And Jack will say,
Natalie Reynolds claimed contracts with no end date and accused him of hovering around girls who were 17 and waiting for birthdays on yachts to ink 50% splits. Neon amplified the same story crudely on stream. None of it has seen a courtroom verdict, but the symmetry of the accounts made people look harder at the pipeline and at who it targeted. Then the universe tested what he valued. He crashed the McLaren. Kick banned him again after the bodyguard's scuffle. He tried to tip goodwill back into the ledger with jet skis for the injured cameraman, donations to bigger streamers, only to get publicly finessed for a few $100 and laughed off the stage. He called it jealousy, but it felt like what most would call karma. And finally, the center snapped. McKinley changed the passwords, called the cops, cleared the house, and by his own calculation, took $500,000 a month of his revenue with her.
Changed all of her passwords to all of her social media accounts that I blew the up because she's my girlfriend, like the and she just took, like, evil, bro, evil. She just took $500,000 a month from me. Evil, bro. She's been plotting.
This is the ledger Jack Doherty wrote in public. He always said nothing would stop him. What if the thing that finally did wasn't a ban or a court order, but a world of fans who just didn't care anymore, a machine that stopped paying, and a reputation too toxic for even the grifters to stick around? You see, before all this, Jack Doherty was just a kid with a camera and a knack for turning small moments into massive numbers. At 12, he flipped a single bottle on his kitchen counter, then another, then a dozen more, until a full table of successful landings turned into the viral claim, "I flipped all of these." That one clip racked up over 30 million views and transformed an anonymous middle schooler into YouTube's next suburban prodigy. Within half a year, he went from a few hundred subscribers to well over 100,000, fueled by the kind of innocent challenge content that defined YouTube's mid-2010s golden age. Those early videos painted Jack as polite, almost shy. He wasn't yelling at security guards yet. He was going trick-or-treating the day after Halloween, sheepishly explaining to strangers that he just missed the day.
Yo, what is up, guys? Jack Doherty here, back with another video. Today I'm gonna be going trick-or-treating the day after Halloween. Yeah, I got my GoPro on my head. I'm just gonna tell people I'm a doctor or something for Halloween, and I'm just using this as I'm just using it as a thing, whatever they wear.
At that time, the only thing being tested was how far his childlike mischief could go before it turned annoying. It worked. People saw a kid playing in the same sandbox as Jake Paul or Tanner Fox. But attention is a tricky teacher. The more Jack filmed, the more he realized boundaries made better thumbnails than safety. His first real test came when he decided to visit the FaZe house, YouTube's holy site for young fans chasing validation. His mom drove him there herself, waited in the car, and even helped block the driveway to film his attempt at meeting the team.
What is up, guys? We're at the FaZe house right now. Oh my god. Yo, we're here. Oh my god, guys. Look, this is a G Fuel car and everything.
When the video went live, it wasn't about crossing a line. For him, it was about proving he could. Jack learned that breaking rules felt like progress, especially when adults smiled through it. It was the moment the algorithm met parental permission and gave birth to a creator who'd never see too far the same way again. However, it's no surprise that he is no longer friendly with the FaZe clan anymore, as FaZe Banks would say in a much later, now deleted post that he should have done the world a favor by ending him. As Jack's numbers grew, so did the noise. These videos became the blueprint for what he'd later perfect, public disruption disguised as youthful fun. He'd play Floor is Lava across shopping aisles, climb displays, grab the intercom to shout nonsense, and film employees' frustration like it was part of the act. The wildest part? His father was often right there with him, laughing, recording, and sometimes appearing on camera.
So I'm here with Andre and Justin. They're in the car right now, but basically we're gonna go to Walmart. My dad's gonna drive us there, and we're gonna do the Floor is Lava challenge because you guys really seem to like the first one, and I wanna know if this video could smash 10,000 likes.
It seemed like it was a family business at some point. Every time a store manager told him to leave, every "we got kicked out" thumbnail became proof that misbehavior was profitable. Jack was learning in real time that the more boundaries he broke, the more the internet and his own household rewarded him. Flush with YouTube money, Jack began seeing attention as something you could purchase. His next stunt targeted one of gaming's biggest names, Ninja. During a live stream, Jack flooded Ninja's chat with donations, each carrying the same taunting message: "Call me Dad," over and over. He tried to force a reaction, and when Ninja finally refunded the money and blocked him, Jack flipped the narrative. In his own video, he painted himself as the disrespected fan, claiming Ninja was ungrateful for rejecting generosity.
Years old, chill, lol. Mr. Beast made a vid donating to you and you were fine with it. Why can't I do it? The video has 1 million and it's helping the both of us. So like, I was basically saying like, the video's doing really good. It's helping me with subscribers. It's probably helping you because it's getting your name out there even more, which like, all my subscribers even like know about it.
He wasn't just trolling, he was buying humiliation and calling it content. Offline, his antics were finally catching up. He was getting school suspensions for filming pranks in hallways, an eventual expulsion after another altercation, but obviously instead of reflection, it gave him what he always wanted: more time to film.
Gotta get this over with pretty fast because my parents are super pissed off at me and I'm still dealing with a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and as you could tell by the title of the video, I got expelled from high school. So there was
He staged mock arrests, vlogged tearful clickbait like "I got caught by the cops," and ended every controversy the same way, with a shrug and a smile. Even when reality TV tried to intervene with his brief appearance on Dr. Phil, Jack turned it into another performance. The show highlighted his harassment of neighbors and his brother's stolen car incident, yet Jack offered no apology, only deflection.
I think you're energetic and I think you're a hard worker. I think if you would morph things into being more creative and...
I think they're so creative. No one's ever done those types of stuff.
Okay, we're done here.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to give him some advice and he wants to talk rather
Jack,
than listen.
don't interrupt him
He's very
again,
hard to
please.
get along with. I'm sorry.
Jack,
He's
could you
saying
give him
can't
another
talk.
chance? Jack, please don't interrupt
I was
anymore.
just trying to be nice.
Let Dr. Phil speak. You're not being
No,
nice.
I've
You're
tried
interrupting.
several times to give him some advice.
Dr. Phil warned that fame without restraint leads to ruin. Jack smirked like he'd just been handed a new slogan. To him, every consequence was still just another upload waiting to happen. The Walmart aisles became Jack Doherty's first real stage. What began as harmless pranks quickly turned into full-blown performances of defiance. The format was walk into a store, make chaos look effortless, and wait for security to show up.
Don't take pictures of me. I'll break your camera.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
I doubt it. I'm 15. You'll go
I
to jail.
don't care if you're 15.
You'll go to jail.
You respect me.
All right, and you respect. Whoa, hey! Ricky! 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 Sir, you cannot touch a kid. I will leave, or otherwise I will call the police. Give me my camera.
Call the police.
Give me my camera.
You don't record me.
I was not recording you.
Yes, you were.
It was.
Try to get kicked out became less of a challenge and more of a production cue. He'd climb displays during Flora's lava challenges, snatch the intercom to announce jokes, or sprint through checkout lanes like they were obstacle courses.
Bikes, let's go. And right as we were about to go buy some more toys, this happened.
Hey guys, Walmart doesn't want you here.
Really? We're just trying to buy kids' toys.
It's not my fault, it's Walmart's fault.
Who can we talk to?
We'll talk to Walmart.
I'm gonna be an environmental protester. I'm gluing myself to the ground. I'm not leaving. Right. W Security, sorry. I appreciate you more. Merry Christmas. Dude, you're a big guy for Walmart.
I don't work for Walmart, I'm the cop.
Oh, dead ass. That's what I say. I was like, Walmart, you could just steal from.
Not when I'm here.
Hell yeah. Hey, challenge accepted. No, I'm kidding.
By the time Jack Doherty joined Kick, he wasn't just chasing views anymore, he was chasing something harder to explain. The platform's anything goes culture suited him perfectly. Here, chaos was monetized. To feed the timeline, he surrounded himself with a rotating cast of internet misfits like the Island Boys, Neon, and Fousey, an unholy trinity of controversy.
Hey man, what y'all do for a living?
Man, look, bro, it's none of your business, bro. We do our work.
Yeah, man, we make out, man. Island Boy, man. Man, gay, man, say, man, man. Mwah.
See what the test is doing.
Tell the door, go, Beta said, hey. Yo, you're a bitch. You're a little.
Their streams were a blur, really. People shouting over each other, drinks spilling, insults flying, and Jack at the center, smirking into the camera as the chaos erupted around him. But for someone who built his career on seeming fearless, Jack's bravado had limits. To maintain his image without risk, he brought in what became his most infamous accessory, a massive bodyguard who followed him everywhere. The man's size alone was a message to anyone who tried to mess with Jack. Whenever a prank went too far or a stranger pushed back, the bodyguard would step forward, and suddenly Jack's smirk returned. It was borrowed bravery, a layer of muscle that let him keep provoking people without ever facing real consequences himself. He'd pick fights with grown men in parking lots, yell at locals during IRL streams, then retreat behind the wall of his hired protection. The danger was artificial, but the intimidation was real, and it made his content feel volatile, alive, and increasingly disturbing. That recklessness eventually escalated to physical harm on the night of October 28, 2023. Jack Doherty walked into David Dobrik's Halloween party armed with a live stream, a cameraman, and his new favorite prop, his bodyguard. The house was packed with creators, influencers, and a swarm of people who either admired or despised him, depending on which side of the internet they came from. Outside the venue, Jack got into a confrontation with two guests, one of whom was later identified as Chase. The argument started over words, but ended with something far worse. Within seconds, Jack's bodyguard stepped forward and swung, landing a full-force punch that sent Chase collapsing backward onto the pavement. The sound of impact echoed through the crowd, followed by a brief silence and then chaos. The scene looked more like a fight night than a party. Jack didn't step in to help or even check if the man on the ground was conscious. He turned the camera back on himself. We got him, as if the clip had already paid for itself. The video was uploaded within hours to his social channels. First to Kick, then to YouTube, then clipped on Twitter with captions like "Don't mess with us" and "Security doing his job." That moment became content, recycled and repackaged across every platform like a badge of honor. The internet's reaction wasn't what he expected at all. Even his usual defenders struggled to spin it. Jack used his security guard to bully people. Shows what kind of person he really is. The security guard punching the partygoer was uncalled for. I honestly don't know who I hate more, Jack or the bodyguard. The clip showed everything too clearly: the unprovoked hit, the victim's head smacking the concrete, the camera still rolling as Jack grinned in the background. Lawsuits followed soon after, citing assault and negligence. But for Jack, the violence had already served its purpose. It gave him another viral moment, another spike in views, another excuse to play the victim once the backlash hit. As YouTube Shorts exploded into dominance, Jack Doherty adapted with machine-like precision. He began pumping out bite-sized chaos at industrial speed. 30-second bursts of pranks, arrests, fake drama, and shirtless skits that all followed the same algorithm-tested formula. Every clip started with a loud hook, someone yelling, running, or getting caught, followed by quick cuts, punchy sound effects, and the same recycled music beds heard across the app. The result was pure brain rot material. Overstimulating edits built to hijack short attention spans and feed endless scrolling.
Bro, drunk drove here with his dog in the car. This crazy fan drunk drove 2,000 miles to my house with his dog in the car. He even crashed into my gate and totally wrecked his car. This is what he just did to his car at my house, right? So we called the cops and they arrested the guy, but they told us they were just gonna leave the dog behind. I don't know what they're gonna do with the dog, but I want to take him in, but the cop told me not to touch the car. Good, good boy. No, we be good boy again. So I went and asked the cops if we could take care of him. And after a ton of convincing, they said yes. He may seem vicious, but he's my friend. Come here, buddy. Oh my gosh, no, that's insane. He's not getting his dog back. Look at him, look at his fur. Yeah, bro, he's definitely hungry. Someone should get him food. Can someone get him food? That is insane. Where's the cop at, bro? Put this man in jail. Look at him, he's so skinny and like fudged up everywhere.
Not being treated right.
Of course not. Are you gonna let bro take his dog back after that?
But Jack wasn't just chasing views, he seemed to be targeting a specific audience: kids. The setups were simple and cartoonish: pretending to get arrested in a parking lot, stealing a cookie in front of a cop, arguing with teachers, and pulling pranks on random shoppers. The jokes were easy to follow, the reactions exaggerated, and the energy manic enough to keep any 12-year-old glued to the screen.
My friend Colby always eats yogurt, but I absolutely hate yogurt. That was so disgusting.
Why? You don't like it?
So today, I'm gonna swap out Colby's yogurt with lotion to see how she reacts. So when I got back from the store, I took her yogurt and did this. Now we're gonna fill up her yogurt with lotion. This is so disgusting. Ooh. Oh yeah. All right, now we're gonna put it back in the fridge and wait for her to eat. Subscribe, because she's about to get so mad at me. Ew.
That was the darker genius of his system. The same content that hooked millions of children funneled traffic to OnlyFans models he managed, many of whom appeared in those same short-form videos dressed as prank partners or collaborators. Jack had effectively created a marketing pipeline disguised as entertainment. Kids watched for the stunts, adults clicked for the suggestion, and Jack profited off both. You see, Jack Doherty's empire wasn't built alone. It ran on the backs of the women he recruited, promoted, and by many accounts, exploited. Each became a character in his content ecosystem, a cog in the larger machine that blurred the line between viral pranks and adult marketing. Together they formed what audiences began calling the roster, a revolving cast of women whose job was to bait attention, play along with Jack's provocations, and funnel that engagement into their OnlyFans accounts, all managed, of course, under Jack's direction. McKinley Richardson was the face of that machine. She appeared in countless shorts that blurred innocence and suggestion, and most infamous being one where she told a child, "Don't talk and I'll buy you anything you want." A joke that played like grooming bait dressed as humor, especially since the mic wasn't an actual mic, but a banana.
Don't talk in the banana, and I'll buy you whatever you want. What's your name before you start? You're not gonna tell me? You look so pretty. Okay, you win. What do you want?
Hello Kitty doll.
A doll? Okay, perfect. Well, let's go find one.
In another, she dangled a candy cane and delivered a string of innuendos so on the nose, it felt deliberately engineered to provoke outrage and curiosity. Every one of these clips ended the same way, a pinned link leading to her OF. What looked like a harmless prank video was actually a storefront, and Jack was the salesman. However, on some occasions as well, McKinley was the butt of Jack's jokes. One of his kick streams, Jack drove a golf cart with McKinley in the passenger seat, speeding across concrete while trying to capture the perfect reaction for his chat. The moment veered from playful to terrifying in seconds. The cart flipped, slamming onto its side and pinning her underneath. In the footage, Jack's voice bursts with panic for a split second, then the camera keeps rolling. McKinley later said she was sure he did it on purpose, that he was straining to make the crash happen because the clip would hit harder. Even when she was hurt and couldn't move, Jack's priority wasn't her safety, it was the footage. He left her in pain and went to film with Antonio Brown on a yacht that same night.
I went to a basketball game with ex-quarterback Antonio Brown.
Then came Michelle Scott, whose transition from kid prank collaborator to adult content creator was just as unsettling. In one clip, filmed inside a toy store surrounded by children, she flipped a line about Crocs being in sport mode into something explicitly sexual.
These changed my life. We all know Crocs have two modes, chillin' mode and sports mode. And I'm always running late, so that got me thinking. Can putting my Crocs into sport mode actually give me a speed boost? Well, I guess it's time to find out. So I grabbed my favorite Crocs and headed to the nearest speed testing location. After stretching and warming up for a bit, it was time to put these Crocs to the test. I started with my Crocs in chillin' mode. My first couple attempts ended Crocless, but I figured out how to keep them on and finished 50 meters in about 9 seconds. Now it's time for what we've been waiting for, sports mode. Instantly, I felt weightless. I finished 50 meters in 5 seconds. That's way faster. Subscribe if you've ever been late.
The link below the video quietly did its job. The shock value was the point. Jack's strategy relied on towing the line between family content and suggestive marketing, exploiting how far he could push before the algorithm caught on. Camila Araujo, a former MrBeast collaborator, gave the operation legitimacy. She was well-known, attractive, and presented as the normal one, a bridge between mainstream YouTube and Jack's adult ecosystem, but even her presence was wrapped in manipulation. Jack filmed her with her brother and even her father in innocent family-style bits that twisted into suggestive jokes halfway through.
Alright, I get this question way too much, even in school, basically everywhere I go, if I ever get recognized. What do they mean if it's pink?
Dude, I told you.
Don't hit me with the car.
I don't know what I have to tell you, but
You're hiding something, clearly.
I'm not hiding anything.
Say that shit with a straight face.
It is my Audi R8.
No, it's not. You have a pink. Okay, there's so many things that's pink. Literally, look, there's so much shit that's pink that it can't just be your Audi R8.
That's like the most expensive pink thing.
Okay, hold on.
Or, I mean, it could be
Maybe like a hot or cold game.
Sure.
Is it an object?
Yes.
Something that you can hold.
Yes.
Hold the object. Okay. Is it like an electrical device?
No.
It was a pattern of introducing the wholesome, then tainting it just enough to make it clickable. Camilla's collaborations blurred that edge further when she began appearing at kid meetups, smiling for selfies with young fans, while the videos promoting those same events linked directly to her adult content.
Wait, so how was it meeting me?
You look ugly because in the video you don't have pimple and you have pimple here. You look ugly.
So you think I'm ugly?
Yes.
I don't want to have kids now because of you.
But you're not gonna have the same kid.
Yeah, you're right. I hope not.
And then there was Natalie Reynolds, the Chaos Agent. She became the unofficial mascot of Jack's shock content phase. Her stunts were engineered to dominate For You pages through controversy alone, walking into gyms wearing painted-on jeans, faking pranks in an Amish village, driving a free candy van through a neighborhood.
A Miami influencer by the name of Natalie Reynolds, well, she got herself and her crew arrested for a Christmas prank that involved them driving around in a U-Haul or a kidnapper van with the sign that reads "Free."
She also staged confrontations with people she called crackheads, and nearly drowning herself on stream for attention. Each one was crazier than the other, but each also brought in massive traffic spikes, especially during Jack's kick streaming grind. Individually, they all played roles: girlfriend, collaborator, influencer, but together they formed a playbook. The roster was both content and commodity, a perfect fusion of sex and strategy that turned viral attention into profit, no matter how humiliated or harmed in the process. With all of this, Jack Doherty began bragging about his earnings. He had already outgrown the illusion of being just a YouTuber. On paper, the videos, the stunts, pranks, and kick streams looked like his main hustle. In multiple interviews, Jack admitted that YouTube accounted for only around 10% of his total income. The real money came from this OnlyFans management operation disguised as a creator house. It was this agency that signed women under the promise of exposure, handled their marketing, content coordination, and fan interactions, and in return, took a hefty percentage of everything they made. The model was disturbingly efficient. Jack provided the audience, his editors and collaborators handled the logistics, and the women became both talent and bait. Each was offered what sounded like a dream deal: a fixed salary, professional management, and guaranteed promotion across Jack's massive platforms. What they often got instead were restrictive contracts that handed him creative control, and in some cases, their likeness rights. Behind the camera, he was less a manager and more a middleman, someone who monetized attraction while remaining one step removed from accountability. Jack Doherty signing minors to OnlyFans contracts, fake IDs, full-on child trafficking, and protected by the liberals and Pedo Inc. itself. Plenty of streams showing them all together and live streaming their sick ways. The economics were predatory by design. The agency took major revenue shares, sometimes more than half of the creator's earnings, while keeping the illusion of mutual success alive through expensive props, cars, and staged giveaways. To outsiders, Jack appeared to be the young mogul who made it, a self-proclaimed business genius. But to those inside his orbit, he was a gatekeeper siphoning value from everyone he touched. The moral bankruptcy wasn't a side effect of his business, it was the business. By the spring of 2024, the people who once orbited Jack Doherty's world began turning against him. On March 30th, a group that included YouTubers The Ireland Boys and his longtime editor Matthew JGL uploaded a video that detonated the illusion Jack had built around himself. Titled, "Jack Doherty Must Be Stopped," it wasn't a diss track or a drama bait reaction. It was a methodical dismantling of his public image, piece by piece, from people who had lived inside the machine. They accused him of substance abuse, of being perpetually wired and erratic during shoots, of creating an environment fueled by Adderall and Red Bull where everything from sleep, empathy, and safety was secondary to numbers.
Him, especially knowing that he wakes up, he pops all day, every day in order to function. And if he doesn't know how to act. He can't get out of bed. And most people will never see that side of him.
According to them, Jack's entire moral compass pointed toward money.
Jack's own brother says all the time that the only thing he thinks about is money, and he says it literally to anybody new that comes into the house. He will make it known at some point.
They described a house where every collaborator quietly hated being there but stayed because they had no choice. Jack was their paycheck, their exposure, their hostage taker disguised as a business partner.
And on my own separate occasions, everyone in the team would come to me on their own time and talk about how they hate it there, they hate working with Jack, they want to pick something else, but they have no other option, so they feel like they're stuck. Just recently, I was going back and forth with Jack on Twitter. Grace, which is one of Jack's girls, sent me a Snapchat telling me to talk about the messages that I have with McKinley, so she's literally trying to help.
The video also laid bare what insiders already suspected. The majority of Jack's audience wasn't adults at all.
But majority of his audience is younger kids. Just take a look at this video. These are fans coming up to him out in public. Those are the type of kids that are watching these videos.
His editor claimed that analytics and live meetups made it obvious. Crowds of middle schoolers lined up for photos while their parents waited outside, unaware that the same faces appearing in those family-friendly shorts were cross-promoting adult subscription pages.
He also has these girls in his videos that are all signed to his agency, and he takes a majority of their income and pays them a small salary, a small fraction of what they bring in. And Jack will say,
it was a bait and switch operation running in plain sight. To fill the moral vacuum, they included petty but telling anecdotes. Jack stealing snacks at grocery stores, walking out with unscanned items at self-checkout, treating theft like a game. Jack fired back almost immediately. His response video was a predictable tantrum masked as confidence. He called the Ireland boys jealous, accused Matthew of hypocrisy, and insisted that there's nothing to expose. Everything I do is already out there. He framed their testimonies as betrayal, claiming they were clout-chasing opportunists angry that he had cut them off. What he didn't do was refute the substance of their claims. For every accusation, his defense was the same. If I did something wrong, I'd be in trouble, but I'm not. It was the logic of someone who equated consequence with guilt, blind to the fact that the reckoning had already begun. Then came the most disturbing wave of allegations, those involving minors. Around this same period, a former associate known as Norway alleged on stream that Jack had been hosting underage girls at his house. He claimed to have warned Jack multiple times after discovering a 17-year-old staying overnight, yet nothing changed. Jack, I messaged you and told you to kick them out, and then you didn't do shit about it because you were in Dubai. But yeah, Ace was chilling with 17-year-olds at your house without an NDA. That's crazy. They didn't even sign an NDA, they just pulled up. That's why you got scared when I called the cops on the girls when they were drunk driving because they were 17. Screenshots surfaced of messages exchanged between the girl and Norway, including one calling him daddy and pleading for him to come over, a tone that, in context, made the situation even more troubling. Jack was allegedly abroad in Dubai at the time, but according to Norway, his team continued inviting the girls over in his absence. Jack later addressed the situation in disbelief, saying that he really cared about Norway and couldn't believe he would betray him like that. Soon after, streamer Neon reignited the controversy during a heated rant, alleging that Jack had a pattern of finding 17-year-olds on the verge of turning 18, inviting them onto his yacht, getting them drunk, and signing them to contracts granting him 50% of their lifetime earnings.
I just don't give a f anymore, man. I just don't care, bro. The crazy thing is, Jack, you would not say that to my face, bro. You're a joke. Let me tell you exactly what Jack does. I don't care. You want to say that? Now I'm going to violate you and expose your script. Here's what you do. I'm going to tell you exactly what you do. You get 17-year-old girls the night before their birthday. You buy a $10,000 yacht every time. You get them drunk and they sign a contract. 50% of their life every single time. You.
He didn't say allegedly. He said it as a fact. And although Neon is known for bluster, Jack never pursued legal action. Even Vitaly Reynolds, another former collaborator, echoed similar accusations months earlier in December 2023, tweeting that Jack had waited for a girl's 18th birthday to get her drunk on a yacht and sign a contract. She added that Jack had used his connections to get her Instagram account taken down after she cut ties with him. In her words, he can't make money off her anymore. None of these claims have been confirmed, but collectively they painted a damning portrait, one of a creator who had blurred the line between influencer and predator, business and exploitation. Jack would literally do anything for clout. As Jack's empire grew, so did the cracks in its foundation. His streams started drawing scrutiny for another reason entirely. The numbers didn't add up. View counts soared overnight, yet chat activity lagged behind. Clips began circulating online showing his on-screen overlays flickering with the words robot views, evidence that he was artificially inflating his audience. Caught red-handed, Jack deflected. He insisted that unnamed third parties were adding fake traffic without his consent and framed the whole thing as jealousy from small creators. Then, in typical fashion, he spun the scandal into a flex, boasting about lucrative partnerships and new streaming deals, arguing that haters were just mad he was making money. But the illusion of success was short-lived. On November 22, 2024, Jack launched a live stream titled Buying Meme Coins Live. It started as supposed investment entertainment, him scanning the market, chatting with fans, but it quickly revealed itself as something else entirely. The token he chose, McLaren Coin, had been created less than an hour before the stream began.
But it's crazy how I can click anywhere in this 23-minute stream and just hit a place where he is scamming. Just a random spot. Yeah, here it is. He eventually buys McLaren. Because of his McLaren crash, he's leaning into it. So he keeps talking about buying the McLaren coin on Pump Fun. All that Solana. Oh boy. and eventually just in stream without saying anything. It doesn't even look like he made much money from the rug either. Like, if you just look at the graph, it doesn't seem like he even made off with it, like, any money.
For him, every controversy was a brand asset, proof that people were still watching. That same obsession with attention bled into his interactions with bigger names. During a live stream with Kai Cenat, Jack attempted what he called the sub-gift meta, donating massive amounts of money in exchange for clout.
One more? Why are you guys insane like that? You dirty little.
It's a gamble. It's almost like you're laughing.
It's not even for that, it's just funny.
He gifted hundreds of subscriptions, expecting a reciprocal shout-out and access to Kai's audience. Instead, Kai publicly mocked the stunt, thanked him sarcastically, and admitted afterward that he and his chat had finessed him for $300.
Thank you so much. Nah, he was doing bad all year, chat. I'm not associating myself with that. He was doing bad all year, chat. That's not good. That's not good vibes. That's not good vibes. That's not good vibes. That's not good vibes. But we got 300 though. We got 300. Definitely 300. We got 300 though. We Gucci.
It was humiliation disguised as collaboration, and Jack learned too late that you can't buy respect. Still chasing credibility, he sat down for an interview with Pat God in December 2024, hoping to rehabilitate his image. It didn't work. The host confronted him directly about promoting OnlyFans creators to a largely underage audience, pointing out the hypocrisy of using kid-styled editing and thumbnails to sell adult content.
So one thing that a lot of people were asking about that I'll just relay for you is your primary source of income. Where would you say you make the most amount of money on the internet? If you don't mind disclosing that. If you do, that's all.
I'm pretty sure you're digging for the OnlyFans answer. No, I'm kidding, but obviously, it's not like...
Jack tried to joke it off, muttering that it's just business, but the mask slipped.
Okay, well, let's move on real quick. So, a lot of people have, some fault with you promoting OnlyFans to young children. What would you say to these people who'd say that, that's an irresponsible thing to do? Making videos for young children with editing that's stylized for young children, and then at the end of these videos, what you're doing is promoting pornography. What do you say to that?
Business, dog. What are you gonna do about it?
It's just business?
I'm kidding. Sorry.
No, okay, Jack, come on, man, come on.
When pressed, he backpedaled, mumbling excuses about management deals and creative freedom. In that brief, uncomfortable silence, the entire facade cracked. The prankster persona, the entrepreneur branding, the moral shrug that justified everything. What came through instead was the truth that has always defined Jack Doherty. Money over meaning, profit over principle, and the unshakable belief that as long as people were watching, he could never really lose. Every time Jack Doherty pushed a boundary, a platform pushed back, only for him to treat the penalty as another badge of honor. His first major strike of the year came on January 7th, 2024, when Kick issued a 24-hour ban after Jack urged a woman on stream to expose herself live for donations. It wasn't subtle or accidental, it was part of his ongoing race to shock, each stunt more desperate than the last. Yet instead of embarrassment, he played it off as censorship, joking that he'd just take the day off and make more money tomorrow. 4 days later, he managed to irritate an entirely different corner of the internet. On January 11th, YouTubers Memulous and I'm Alex woke up to copyright strikes, filed not by a network or label, but by Jack himself. The videos in question were harmless commentary clips mocking his behavior, yet he weaponized the copyright system to silence them. Both creators took to Twitter, tagging Team YouTube and accusing him of false claims. The platform sided with them within days, reversing the strikes and publicly confirming the abuse of the system. It was a moment that exposed how fragile Jack's ego really was. Behind all the bluster about haters, he couldn't tolerate criticism without trying to erase it. By early 2025, Jack Doherty was out of second chances. After months in limbo, Kick quietly lifted his suspension, reinstating his account in what looked like an olive branch from the very platform that had built and buried him. Jack treated it like a redemption arc. He went live, announcing that he'd finally learned and was turning over a new leaf. He thanked the platform for its forgiveness, promised to be humble and different this time, and told his audience he was done with the antics that got him banned. It was the same speech he'd given a dozen times before. For a few brief weeks, it seemed like maybe, just maybe, he believed it. That illusion shattered on February 19th, 2025. Jack was streaming outdoors with another creator, Joshua Blog, in what started as a typical IRL session. Banter, street interactions, small talk with chat. Then a stream sniper approached, tossing chips in Jack's direction, a petty gesture meant to irritate him. Most streamers would have laughed it off or ignored it. Jack didn't. His bodyguards stepped forward, and within seconds, things escalated.
I think I might just have to, bro.
Yeah.
I think I might just have to. Well,
You're getting chips everywhere.
all right. Enough. Stupid. Now what? Dave, he's good, Dave. Dave, let him be. Let him be. We're good. Yo. So touch me. Yeah, now what? Stupid.
One-on-one. Do me one-on-one.
Yeah, I just did, buddy. I beat the out of you. You won't even show your face.
Yo, come on.
You won't even show your face.
The man was shoved, restrained, and nearly slammed to the ground, while Jack shouted in the background, egging on the harassment instead of stopping it. The entire confrontation unfolded live, broadcast to thousands. Within hours, Kick moderators had seen enough. His account was instantly rebanned, this time permanently. When Jack realized it, he spiraled live on air, first in disbelief, then in fury. What followed was a meltdown so volatile it sealed his fate. He lashed out at the platform's leadership, naming executives, hurling insults, even mocking the Australian staff in a tirade that felt less like defiance and more like a man publicly imploding.
Guys, I tried to get unbanned from Kick, right? You guys want to hear what my message was to Kick? Let me know. I wrote a message. McKinley, remember the message I wrote this morning, and I put it in ChatGPT, and they gave me like a like college essay. But then they denied it. So them. Yeah, fuck them in the ass. You Kick, suck my dick. You and lick my balls. Eddie, you can suck my fucking to your fucking to your mouth. Sorry.
But that response was like the best thing ever. You could have worded it better.
Yeah, ChatGPT couldn't have worded it better.
Really couldn't have.
No, I'm kidding, but I typed in everything I wanted to get across into ChatGPT. Well, I actually typed it out in the emails, ready to press send. Then I copied it, put it in ChatGPT, and said, make me sound like a G. And then it did, and it was perfect. I can read it out for you guys, and it didn't f***ing work, so. This is what I wrote. Ready? Also, guys, I'm taking a $100 cash giveaway after I read you this email, so if you guys want to win $100, put your cash in the chat. On my party chat, if you guys are on Twitch, go to my party chat, parti.com/Jack Doherty. One of you guys getting a $100 cash app. Let's go. But let's see. This is what I wrote to Kick. Okay, I said, Dear Kick. Oh, that's a long one. Dear Kick, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to appeal my ban, which was issued over a month ago. I understand and fully respect the platform's guidelines, and I'm certain that and aware that certain actions on my stream may have violated these rules. However, I would like to explain the context surrounding the incident and provide clarity on the situation. The incident in question occurred when I was assaulted by a stream sniper who has a history of targeting streamers in order to provoke conflict and create controversy. During the live stream, I was physically attacked on camera by this individual. I had no prior warning that I would be assaulted. Gotta play victim. Because I was the victim too, but gotta plead the fifth here. No, I'm kidding. And I was forced to defend myself, both for my personal safety and to protect my public image. I'm sure you understand how difficult it can be to manage situations like this when they unexpectedly happen. Immediately after the incident, I ended my streaming to leave the footage, as I am fully aware of the platform's policy regarding violence. I take full responsibility for how I handle the situation in real time, but I want to emphasize that I never intended for the violence to occur, and that I do not condone such actions on my streams. In hindsight, I now realize how critical it is to prevent such incidents from being broadcasted to avoid similar situations in the future. I will implement a 30 second to 1 minute stream delay, give my monitors time to intervene and end the stream before any inappropriate actions make it to the public broadcast. That sounded not like me. Additionally, I would like to highlight that I have previously been assaulted during live streams by other well-known creators such as Fousey and Prime. Throw them under the bus. But there was no consequence for their actions. I understand this does not justify my own situation, but I believe this context demonstrates that such incidents are unfortunately not rare in the live streaming environment. I genuinely regret the incident and assure you that this was an isolated event. Moving forward, I will do everything in my power to ensure that no such event occurs again. I respect the platform's rules and guidelines, and I'm committed to providing a positive and safe environment for my audience. I respectfully ask for your understanding and consideration in lifting my ban. I appreciate your time and opportunity to address the situation. F you, Jack Doherty. Just kidding. Besides the you part. But now I'm going to add the you part because they ridiculous on my ban. So what should I say? Respectfully.
Every time he was given a chance to rebuild, Jack treated it as proof that he was untouchable. This time there would be no recovery, no platform waiting to take him back. The permaban wasn't just a technical decision, it was a collective conclusion. But what the platforms couldn't take from him, life soon did. On March 25th, 2025, Jack's longtime girlfriend and business partner, McKinley Richardson, finally left. Police were outside his Los Angeles house as she packed her things and drove off. Jack went live again, framing the breakup as betrayal and financial sabotage.
It's like my girlfriend called the cops on me to get all her stuff out. Insane. Like, what the fuck? I can't believe what's happening right now.
We can.
Yes, you usually wouldn't answer me. You called the cops before you talked to your boyfriend? Are you kidding me? Like, how the fuck are you doing that? That's it, bro. That's all I did.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I did. I just wanted to talk to you. That's it. So you wouldn't answer me, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, what? Like, you called the cops.
You can't slow down so I can be with you.
You gotta get out of my house. I didn't say you can come in.
She's letting us in.
She doesn't own this house. I didn't say you can come in my house.
Her address is on here. She's a resident here.
I don't care. You guys aren't allowed in my house.
We're not here to have a hard
You guys aren't allowed in my house. I'm sorry.
She lives here.
Who gave you?
She did.
She doesn't.
Waters, rights.
She doesn't own this house. Just because she lives doesn't mean she gave you permission to. Bro, you called the cops on me in my own fucking house after I've done everything for you. I didn't threaten you, bro.
He live-streamed his desperation, calling her repeatedly on speakerphone while officers stood outside. Viewers listened to him beg between insults. Later, body cam footage from one of the responding officers surfaced. It showed McKinley's friend explaining that Jack had put his hands on her the night before. The friend hid her car down the block, afraid he'd see it and lash out. The officer's report mentioned threats, Jack allegedly saying he'd put a hit on the woman helping McKinley move out.
Domestic violence.
Stand by till she puts some stuff on.
He got violent with her last night. He put his hands on her. She came to my house. I'm the friend. I'm an old friend of his. But she's right there in a different car, waiting. Yeah. If he were to see my car, it would have escalated things. So I hid here. She's there with her friend in a car in a Nissan that he's never seen before. So
well, who's she and he and who are all these people?
McKinley.
Okay.
McKinley.
That's who the caller is.
Yes. Yeah, McKinley. She's right there. She's in a car next to the house that the call is for. But we were told Dodge, but they're right there. Yeah, we're waiting for her.
So you're friends of McKinley?
Yes. He drove her here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm an old friend of Jack's, who's the person that is her ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
McKinley was staying at our house, and so we drove her here. If he saw us, it would have made it worse. So her other friend is with McKinley right now.
Who's the other person?
Who's the other friend?
G. Her name's G.
No, who's the other person who's going whose house is going to?
Jack Doherty.
Okay. So she's going to his house to get some of her
her
stuff.
car and all of her belongings. He locked the door and has threatening text messages that he wants to punch her in the face, that he's going to destroy her shit. So I was like, it'd be good just to have you guys there just in case anything happened. So that's it.
Was she living there?
Mm-hmm.
For how long?
A year. They've been there for 2 years. Yeah.
2 years now, I think.
And then she has her...
Just like my clothes, my car. I'm not really worried about like, I have guns that are like registered under my name too. I just want to make sure I get like everything that's mine and like.
Wait, do you live here?
Yeah, I live here with my boyfriend who's coming out right now.
Okay.
Like I haven't seen him.
Is your address registered to this address and everything?
Yeah, my ID is.
Okay. How long have you been living here?
About a year, 2 years. Sorry, I'm just like. I do.
Listen,
What the f are you doing?
Listen.
I'm getting
Why do you have to make it be like this, bro?
Because
Why are you
I'm
involving the
scared.
cops? You're calling the cops on me?
Excuse me.
After all, nah.
Excuse me. She wants to get some stuff from your house or from her house, which she has every right to do, and all she wants to do is leave after that.
Bro.
Nice and peaceful. Not a big deal. Nobody's in trouble. She just wants to go grab some stuff and be gone. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
When clips of that line leaked, everyone turned on him completely. By then, the empire Jack built on chaos had collapsed into self-parody. The cars, the girls, the streams, all of it was gone. What remained was a man still performing while his life crumbled around him, mistaking public ridicule for relevance. He had once said, "Nothing will ever stop me," but in the end, everything did. By morning, the tone had flipped. After a night of calling McKinley evil and accusing her of robbing him of $500,000 a month, Jack Doherty was back on stream, eyes swollen, voice trembling, saying he still loved her.
How's your relationship now with her?
It's cooked.
Cooked?
Yeah, I've never been like heartbroken before. Like, it was like crazy. I was like, I can't believe I got.
The whiplash was textbook Jack. Grief one moment, bravado the next, each emotion designed for retention. The same audience that watched him rage the night before was now watching him cry, and he knew it. Sympathy was just another currency. Within weeks, he'd found a new prop for the performance, Christiana Sansone, a brunette influencer who bore an uncanny resemblance to McKinley. Same hair, same frame, same camera angles.
Hey, what's up, McKinley? How's it going? How's everything going with you and FaZe Lacey? Or did you?
Then came the final act. On May 7th, 2025, Jack claimed he had been jumped by armed men in broad daylight and robbed of 2 diamond chains. He called the police, gave a trembling on-camera statement, and told followers it was the scariest moment of his life. But from the start, his story didn't hold. In one version, he said he'd been tackled to the ground. In another, he was pinned against a wall. Later, he claimed he'd chased the robbers down the street. He hadn't filmed any of it, something unthinkable for a man who documented everything. His demeanor afterward was oddly calm, more performative than shaken. Even his ex, McKinley, hinted online that the incident might have been staged. Theories multiplied. Insurance scam, clout grab, self-inflicted stunt. Within days, the internet collectively stopped pretending to care. For years, Jack Doherty had made chaos his brand. Now it barely registered as news. What once set the internet ablaze barely sparked a meme anymore. At the same time, Kick, his most profitable streaming outlet, was gone for good, and YouTube had stopped rewarding his chaos. The view counts that once stretched into the millions had withered to 5 digits. Clips of him yelling in parking lots, once guaranteed virality, now barely broke a few thousand views. Audiences had moved on. The algorithm had too. The lavish $10 million mansion he flaunted in every thumbnail now hung over him like a time bomb of unpaid taxes, maintenance costs, and shrinking income streams. The Lamborghini shots and money-counting montages that once symbolized victory had become relics of an era that ended the moment people stopped finding him entertaining. For the first time, Jack seemed to be running out of stunts and out of people willing to clean up after them. Where does someone like Jack Doherty go from here? There are only 2 paths left, and both are familiar. Path A would be the miracle. Accountability, therapy, restitution. He could admit what he's done, apologize sincerely, and rebuild his life in private. He could seek help, pay those he exploited, and pivot towards something stable, something real. But history makes that look impossible. Path B is the one that feels inevitable. When every scheme stops working, chase the next one, no matter how reckless. Bigger stunts, faker controversies, anything to stay in circulation. But that route leads to diminishing returns and possibly criminal ones. If the Rodeo Drive robbery story really was staged, it edges into false reporting, a charge that carries actual legal weight. Jack Doherty has always mistaken attention for validation and validation for love. Now with no audience left to applaud him, he's standing in the silence he created. The irony is kind of poetic. The man who once built a career on never facing consequences is finally surrounded by nothing else. Neon is trying to change the story people tell when they hear his name. He wants people to think of the polished, calmer version of himself he's presenting today, not the chaos he built his career on. And to be fair, he has been putting in the work.
And first and foremost, I just want to take accountability, for everything that I've said or done in the past, to anyone that I've talked shit to anyone I've said anything insane to anyone that I've made a remark to. I'm very genuinely sorry from the bottom of my heart. Deep inside, that is not the person that I am, and I want to apologize.
He's apologizing to people he once clowned, collaborating with NBA players instead of troublemakers, and finally learning that being likable is a currency just as valuable as views.
Genuinely, I know I said it on the internet, but to your face, I'm sorry for what I said, bro, for real. And I'm gonna take full accountability, genuinely. That was my, I'm being so dead ass, not for the cameras, nothing. I'm being so dead ass, it was my fault.
But even with all that effort, there's a reason his reputation has been so hard to shake. Neon burned his name into internet history with some of the most unhinged decisions a young creator has made on camera, and the memory of those moments does not disappear just because he wants to hit reset. People remember the fake brain tumor saga where he convinced tens of thousands he was dying, posted goodbye videos, let fans grieve, and then came back days later acting like nothing happened.
Did you say that you had committed suicide?
No, I said I was going to like a surgery or something and it couldn't go well or anything. And there's just like a video, like a montage, and like he's dead. Duke Dennis, I was in a Rockets game. There was a cut scene where they were like showing a replay of Carmelo Anthony hitting a jump shot, and I was in the back of the cut scene. And then he posted on Twitter and they're like, oh, he's not dead. And then Solomon dropped the video and it was like a whole thing. But that was the first moment in my career I was like, damn, what the f did I just do?
He let his younger brother upload a tribute montage and fed off the sympathy while donations poured. People remember the chaos he created by mocking people on stream, dropping slurs for laughs.
A lot of people are saying they're gonna pull up to this party and beat my respectfully, I'm 5 deep with a bunch of black kids and they have nothing to live for in life. They're gonna beat your back, right? No one's touching me. Shut up before I fucking whip you, you dumb whore. I will whip every single one of you. I will whip you. I will whip you. I will whip you. Stupid dumbass black monkey tree, suck my.
Neon once said this is the reason he stays away from black people.
Some black guy tased my dad and robbed him of $50,000.
Is that a real story?
I swear to God. And then another black,
like in what
I don't mean to be
situation?
racist. And another black guy, my dad fired her, or it was a girl. He fired her. But she came late for work. He fired her, and then she came with her boyfriend and robbed the entire place.
He got into fights with creators who eventually checked him in real life because he could not hide behind a monitor anymore. Clips of him getting slapped by Fusi, running from Nate Diaz's crew while shouting apologies, and getting pressed in the streets for saying the wrong thing have replayed endlessly across the internet. Every time he said he would stop being toxic, he always came back worse. So when people hear that Neon is changing, they do not automatically believe it. They remember the stunts, the manipulation, the lies, the drama, and the humiliations. They remember a kid who built his brand on shock value and spiraled into controversy after controversy, until the entire internet treated him like a running joke. And that is part of the story we need to explore, because his rise and fall is not just the tale of a toxic streamer, it is a layered journey shaped by ambition, insecurity, and a desperate hunger for attention that pushed him deeper and deeper into reckless behavior. To understand why Neon is trying so hard to rebuild his image today, you have to see where the story really began, and how everything spiraled long before he ever tried to reinvent himself. Back in 2016, he was just a kid barely 12 or 13 years old, sitting in front of a basic setup and trying to carve out a place for himself in the NBA 2K community. There was nothing outrageous about him back then. No shock value, no controversies, no fake personas, just a young teenager uploading build videos, gameplay breakdowns, and the same type of content every small 2K creator was posting at the time. His earliest videos were simple and straightforward. He talked about archetypes, badge combinations, and jump shot releases. He wasn't a character yet. He was just a kid who wanted people to watch his clips. He had no audience, no momentum, and no real identity as a creator, but he kept uploading anyway. Every day he posted something, even if the views barely hit double digits. When you look back at those early uploads, you can see how genuinely excited he was about the process. He felt like any new subscriber meant he was one step closer to being someone online. That's why he made a promise most small creators make at some point. He told his tiny audience that if he ever hit 1,000 subscribers, he would finally show his face. For a kid his age, that milestone probably felt massive, and on January 27th, 2018, it finally happened. Neon crossed 1,000 subscribers and kept his word by posting his first ever face reveal. It wasn't dramatic or polished, it was just a 14-year-old kid talking to the camera, surprised that people actually cared enough to follow him. That video marked a turning point. It was the first time viewers saw the person behind the gameplay clips, and it helped him become more recognizable within the 2K space. Even after the face reveal momentum, being a small creator wasn't easy. Neon uploaded practically every single day, balancing school, homework, and the grind of trying to stand out in a crowded community, but his numbers were completely inconsistent. Some videos would randomly perform well, while others barely moved. And as those spikes faded, the comments started getting harsher. People told him his channel was dead. They told him he fell off before he even had a chance to rise. Those negative comments hit harder than he wanted to admit. He even made a video asking people to stop calling his channel dead because it was killing his motivation.
Y'all are really demotivating me right now, y'all. All these comments say my channel is dead, y'all. Okay, I understand my channel is dead.
These early years weren't glamorous or controversial. They were defined by a kid trying to figure out how to grow on a platform that rarely rewards patience. But this period also shaped him in ways that would come back later. Constant uploads, fluctuating views, early hate, and the pressure to stay relevant all planted the seeds for the desire to stand out at any cost. Before Neon ever became toxic or chaotic, he was just a young teenager chasing recognition, trying to prove his channel wasn't dead, and slowly discovering how hungry he was for attention. By the time NBA 2K18 and 2K19 rolled around, Neon had finally started to gain real traction. For the first time in his YouTube career, he wasn't just another unnoticed kid uploading into the void. His views were climbing, his videos were getting shared around the community, and people were beginning to recognize his voice, his reactions, and his personality. But that early rise came with a realization that would shape everything he did next. Neon noticed that playing like everyone else, talking like everyone else, and presenting himself like every other 2K creator wasn't going to take him anywhere. He blended in too easily. Nothing about him was unique enough to break him out of the pack, so he pivoted hard.
All I gotta say, toxic Neon on the way. That's all I gotta say. Get ready. Toxic Neon on the way. That's all I gotta say. Get ready. Yeah.
Instead of focusing on gameplay or clean sports commentary, he leaned into anger. Real anger, exaggerated frustration, wild raging that turned every minor moment into meltdown-level entertainment. His videos transformed from typical 2K uploads into chaotic showcases of him screaming, flipping out, and letting his emotions ride the entire experience. And viewers loved it. They ate up the intensity. They shared clips of his freakouts. They boosted his name in group chats and comment sections. For the first time, Neon had found something that worked. From that moment forward, he committed to being a different kind of creator. Someone louder, meaner, and more unfiltered than anyone else in the 2K community. He wasn't just raging anymore, he was leaning into racism, insults, and shock value. He figured out that the more extreme he went, the faster the views came in. It was a formula he embraced like it was his ticket to the top. Of course, the backlash came quickly. People complained. Other creators called him out. His name got dragged into more arguments and community discussions. And instead of dialing back, Neon doubled down. In the middle of the heat, he posted a video titled "Clearing Up My Name, No More Toxic Neon," acting like he was ready to turn over a new leaf. But anyone who watched what happened next knows that video was nothing more than damage control. The moment the upload went live, he became even worse. His insults escalated, his raging intensified, the racist jokes ramped up. Toxic Neon wasn't a phase, it became his entire identity. And while it pushed him deeper into controversy, it also pushed him further into relevance. For the first time, people weren't just watching him, they were reacting to him, talking about him, engaging with him. Love him or hate him, they couldn't ignore him. In 2019, Neon stumbled into one of the strangest and most attention-grabbing chapters of his early rise, the Ronnie 2K's son era. It started as a joke, a running bit where Neon claimed to be the secret son of Ronnie 2K, the public face of the NBA 2K franchise. The claim was obviously ridiculous, but it caught fire across the 2K community. Other creators featured Neon in videos using the joke as a central theme, and several of those videos pulled millions of views. Overnight, Neon went from a small 2K YouTuber to a recognizable personality within the community because everyone wanted to be in on the bit. But the joke had unexpected real-world consequences. Ronnie 2K later revealed that the rumor spread so far and became so persistent that it nearly ruined his marriage. His in-laws believed the claims enough to question whether he actually had a secret child, and it caused serious tensions behind the scenes.
My wife's parents are going to be there. They almost didn't let us get married because they're like, this guy has a child and we don't accept that.
For Neon, it was a moment that showed both the reach of his content and the unintended damage his antics could cause. Eventually, the situation got big enough that Neon had to address it publicly. He clarified that it was just a joke and explained the origins of the bit. But by that point, the rumor had already solidified his name in the 2K world. Whether people loved him or hated him, they knew who he was, and that bizarre chapter became one of the first major boosts to his notoriety long before he became the chaotic IRL streamer everyone recognizes today. Still, he wasn't satisfied with being just another noisy creator in the NBA 2K space. He wanted bigger numbers and a wider audience, and at the time, nothing on YouTube was pulling views like Fortnite. So, he shifted his entire content strategy into that world. But he didn't enter Fortnite as a competitive player or a highlights creator. He stepped into it as an entertainer chasing shock value. And that shift marked the beginning of his move from simple gaming content to full-blown manufactured drama. Instead of winning people over with skill, he leaned into creating exaggerated moments that felt real enough to fool younger viewers, but insane enough to grab attention instantly. Fake win streaks became common. He would stage victories, overhype his gameplay, and present himself as a player he clearly wasn't. But it worked. His audience didn't come to him for authenticity, they came for his rubbish. He expanded that chaos with fake arrest videos where he pretended to get in trouble mid-stream, fake police encounters, and clips that were so obviously fabricated to older viewers, but believable enough for the kids who followed him. One of his biggest hits from this era was his running away video, where he dramatically sprinted out of his house on stream, pretending he was fleeing from someone trying to get him.
I raged, bro. I punched a hole in my wall. And my parents weren't having it, bro. I punched a hole in my wall, and my parents were not having it. So they said, yo, you know what? They took my PS4, they unplugged my PS4, and they said, you know what? I'm sending you to a mental hospital.
The video exploded and crossed more than 3 million views, proving that the more absurd the stunt was, the more attention it brought in. That success told Neon everything he needed to know. Real gameplay wasn't the path forward. Manufactured chaos was. By the end of 2019, he was no longer seen as a regular creator. He was becoming known for clickbait, stage drama, and a willingness to lie to his audience if it meant more views. People started catching on, and instead of slowing down, that reputation only pushed him further down the path of making controversy his main content strategy. Late 2019 became the moment Neon crossed a line that most creators never recover from. After months of smaller stunts and fake clips, he escalated his content into something far darker. He uploaded a video titled "Neon is Dying," where he claimed he had been diagnosed with a brain tumor and was experiencing seizures so severe that doctors were preparing him for a risky surgery. The tone of the video was emotional and somber. Viewers, many of them young and deeply invested in him, took it seriously. Not long after, he followed it up with an even heavier upload called Neon's Final Words. In it, he said the surgery could kill him, and he wanted to leave behind pre-recorded videos so his fans could still see him even if he didn't make it. That idea alone amplified the emotional manipulation behind the stunt. He even scolded viewers who questioned him, saying that anyone suggesting he was faking was a terrible person for making light of such a serious condition. The guilt, the emotional pull, the dramatic framing of it all were crafted to trap fans into believing him and defending him. Then came December 26th. A tribute video titled "He's Gone, R.I.P." appeared on his channel, supposedly uploaded by his younger brother. It was edited like a memorial, using clips of Neon's best moments, soft music, and captions implying he had died from surgical complications. Fans were devastated. But 5 days later, Neon returned as if nothing happened. He posted another video claiming he had survived the surgery, suffered a seizure afterward, and somehow recovered completely in just 48 hours. His tone was casual, and shockingly dismissive considering the emotional storm he had caused. This time, the internet didn't let it slide. The backlash hit hard. His videos were flooded with hate comments, and dislike ratios climbed past 80%. People weren't just angry, they felt manipulated, betrayed, used as emotional props in a storyline he made up for clicks. This arc became Neon's first major downfall. It was the moment the internet stopped seeing him as a harmless, loud kid and started recognizing him as someone willing to fake tragedy and death for attention. And that stain on his reputation would follow him long after the drama died down. At the height of the COVID pandemic in 2020, when fear and uncertainty were at an all-time high, Neon decided to chase views by exploiting that panic. He uploaded a video titled "Meeting Someone with Coronavirus," and the thumbnail alone was designed to cause anxiety. He was shown wearing a medical mask in what looked like a hospital room, sitting next to someone implied to be infected with COVID. For viewers living through lockdowns and non-stop news alerts, it felt like a shocking and reckless stunt. The video spread quickly because people believed he had actually put himself at risk during a global health crisis. But none of it was real. The COVID patient turned out to be his friend Sickbot, who later admitted the entire thing was an April Fool's joke. Sickbot even uploaded his own video titled "I Survived Coronavirus," revealing it was all fake. Neon saw the trend, realized it could pull views, and jumped on it for attention. He wasn't trying to inform anyone or talk about the situation. He was using fear, confusion, and a deadly pandemic to squeeze out clicks. When things would get really heated, Neon apologized publicly and said he would change, but by that point, the apology felt empty. The pattern was already clear. He would take things too far, get exposed, apologize, and then do something just as reckless a few months later. After that incident, his content spiraled even deeper into chaotic clickbait from 2020 to 2022. He churned out extreme titles that were designed to shock younger viewers and trigger outrage. Videos like "Donald Trump swatted my house," "Arrested live," and "Drafted to World War III" became typical for him. None of them were real. They were the next evolution of the fake death era, just louder and more exaggerated. His channel stopped being about the gameplay or entertainment. It became a non-stop stream of staged emergencies, fake threats, and artificial drama. YouTube started reacting. The platform hit him with demonetizations, warnings, and community guideline strikes for misleading content. The algorithm stopped recommending him. Brand-safe companies wanted nothing to do with someone staging arrests and pretending to be hunted by the government for clout. By the end of that period, the bright spark he once had on the platform was dimming fast. His growth stalled. His revenue dipped. His reputation took another hit. You see, when Neon's YouTube career started collapsing under its own weight, another path opened up for him: live streaming.
This exposure helped him build a lot of important connections early in his career, most notably becoming friends with one of the biggest streamers in the world, Aiden Ross. Now, when the two first met, Aiden wasn't anywhere near as big as he eventually became.
And that path was paved almost entirely by one person, Aiden Ross. Aiden had already begun transitioning into one of the biggest streamers in the world, and Neon managed to attach himself to that rising wave. The two became close, appearing in each other's content often, and Neon quickly realized that Aiden's audience had an appetite for wild, unpredictable personalities. He fit right into that mold. By 2022, Kick launched as an alternative streaming platform with looser rules, fewer restrictions, and a hunger for big-name signings. Aiden became one of the platform's faces, and Neon followed shortly after. The move changed everything for him. On YouTube, algorithm rules were suffocating his chaos, but on Kick, he had complete freedom. He officially joined the platform in 2023, and almost instantly his viewership exploded. Streams that struggled to break 5 digits on YouTube suddenly broke 100,000 on Kick. The platform rewarded outrage, rewarded drama, and rewarded unfiltered behavior, and Neon embraced all of it. Kick became the perfect environment for the version of Neon that had been slowly forming over the years. He could say slurs without fear of demonetization. He could scream racist insults. He could provoke people openly.
Hey, bitch in the back, shut up before I whip you, you dumb whore. I will whip every single one of you. I will whip you. I will whip.
The shock value became the point of the show. There was no algorithm to punish him and no corporate sponsors to pull out. Controversy wasn't a risk anymore. By 2023, Neon completed his transformation from a toxic 2K kid into a full-blown shock value streamer. His streams were built around extremes. He weaponized racism and sexism for reactions. He insulted guests live. He demeaned strangers.
And so mad when I call them hood rats because they actually live in the hood. It's actually pathetic. Like, look at this. She's definitely in the hood. Actually, no, she's not black. Wait, whoa. Yo, what am I saying? Oh my god.
And he doubled down every time someone pushed back. He wasn't just loud or impulsive anymore. He was becoming known as one of the most toxic personalities on the internet. Someone who thrived on tearing people down and crossing lines that other streamers, even controversial ones, wouldn't touch. And because Kick let it all slide, the behavior only intensified. His audience grew. His name trended constantly. But every jump in viewership came with another crack in his reputation, setting the stage for the chaos that would follow him into the real world. The first major hit to his Kick-era credibility came in 2023 with the botting scandal. For months, people had already been suspicious of how fast Neon's viewership was climbing. He went from small streams to pulling near six-figure numbers almost overnight. But suspicion turned into proof when a Kick staff member named Santa Maria revealed that one of Neon's supposed 90,000 viewer streams was packed with 60,000 fake viewers.
At one point, Neon was botting 36,000 is now his average. At one point, I remember this dude was hitting 90. This dude was hitting 90,000. I'm just giving you proof that yes.
2/3 of his audience wasn't real. Instead of addressing any of it directly, Neon leaned into the victim narrative. He claimed he was being targeted, insisting people were trying to tear him down, and played up the idea that everyone was against him. The problem was that the evidence was right there, and the internet did not forget. But the botting scandal wasn't the end of his troubles. It was the beginning of his downfall, spilling out of digital spaces and into the real world. The moment his content shifted heavily into IRL streaming, his persona became impossible to separate from his consequences. And nothing proved that more than the Nate Diaz incident. During a press event for a fight between Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal, Neon decided to insert himself into the chaos by asking one of the most disrespectful questions he could think of.
When you do get knocked out, are you gonna retire?
Who said that? So I know who you are. I'm gonna kick you in your fucking leg,
Neon tried playing it cool for a moment, but when the press conference ended and Diaz's crew started walking toward him, everything changed. He bolted. The cameras caught him sprinting outside while yelling, "I'm sorry," over and over.
I'm sorry. Please, I'm sorry!
The clip went viral immediately. Not because Neon was funny, but because he looked terrified. It became one of the earliest reminders that the toxic, loudmouth persona he used online couldn't protect him when the consequences stepped out from behind the screen, and with that humiliating moment, the IRL humiliation era truly began. The Nate Diaz incident cracked the door open, but the flood of humiliations that followed came from people who were not famous fighters. They were fellow creators who had simply grown tired of Neon's disrespect. One of the first and most memorable moments came during a stream with Fusi, where Neon's habit of talking without thinking finally caught up to him. Fusi asked him to name 5 DDG songs, expecting at least a bare minimum level of respect since DDG was a friend of his. Neon admitted he didn't know any, and the second the words left his mouth, Fusi grabbed him by the pants and yanked him into a wedgie right in front of the camera.
Name 5 DDG songs.
Name 5 DDG songs.
Bro, I'm gonna give you a wedgie right now.
I don't know any DDG songs. What? No, don't do that. My asshole. I should go. Why do that? Why am I?
Name 5 DDG songs right now.
I don't know any. Don't do it harder, please.
A little later, things escalated again when Neon burped directly into Fusi's face during a conversation. It wasn't a joke, it wasn't playful, it was straight disrespect.
Guy tagged you on everything.
I didn't know you wanted to rate it 40K views.
Yo.
Moments like that became routine for Neon, and one of the next major embarrassments came at a gym. During an IRL stream, he approached Lex Little's girlfriend under the guise of asking for workout advice. She gave him a polite answer and directed him to her boyfriend, who already knew exactly who Neon was. Lex shut it down immediately.
Excuse me, ma'am? Hi. Nice to meet you. I just wanted some advice for my documentary. What can I do to work out and, based on my physique? What?
You should ask my boyfriend.
Huh?
You're not doing that.
No, I was just asking for advice. Oh, okay. Alright. I didn't mean it. Okay.
No, it's just there's so many.
He told Neon directly not to approach his girlfriend like that and made it clear he didn't want him anywhere near her. Neon instantly backed off, apologized, and awkwardly complimented their relationship. As soon as he walked away, the embarrassment hit him so hard that he went to hide in the corner of the gym, whispering to his viewers that he had just gotten bitched.
I just got bitched. Yo. I was mad. Oh my god. Nothing. I think I'm about to get pressed.
The pattern continued at a BKFC event when he tried to pick a fight with Jack Doherty. Neon had been acting tough on stream, talking like he could press anyone. When he spotted Jack, he jumped him first, shoving him and trying to act dominant. But minutes later, the tables turned. Jack found him outside the venue and lunged at him, tackling him and sending the situation spiraling instantly. Neon went from aggressor to victim in seconds. Bodyguards had to step in, and both of them hid behind security while trying to sound tough from a distance. Footage of the exchange circulated everywhere, and people mocked the entire thing because it showed Neon was only bold when cameras were rolling. The moment someone actually pushed back, he backed down or folded completely. The embarrassments kept piling on, each one carving deeper into Neon's reputation, and by this point the internet had started treating him less like a menace and more like a joke. One of the clearest examples came when Bryce Hall openly doubted Neon's toughness and decided to put him to the test. Instead of sparring Neon himself, Bryce set up a match between Neon and an 11-year-old kid. Neon tried to laugh it off, but you could see in his face that he knew how embarrassing the setup already was. The bell rang, and within seconds the kid cracked him with a clean punch that froze Neon in place. He tried to strike back, even going full force at one point, but the child outboxed him easily. Shot after shot connected, and Neon had no defense, no footwork, and no composure. The fight ended with the 11-year-old winning decisively, and the clip became an instant meme. It was the purest form of humiliation. The guy who talked like he could fight anyone got pieced up by a middle schooler. Not long after that, he found himself in another embarrassing moment during a kick stream with Aiden Ross. Neon had been joking about saying the N-word, something he constantly toyed with for shock value. One of Aiden's boys called in Aiden's security, a massive bodyguard who walked straight into the room and asked Neon to say the word right in front of him. Neon immediately froze.
Honest, bro. Thank you for the sub.
I heard you want to say the N-word. Oh! Say the N-word?
No.
Oh!
Oh my God.
Say it.
I'm not gonna say it on God.
Say it. Say it.
Oh my God.
Yeah!
When the guard grabbed him, lifted him clean off the ground, and held him up like a rag doll, Neon's voice broke into panic. He stammered, insisting he never meant it seriously, and tried to laugh it off. But the fear of God was all over his face. Even after being let down, he admitted he needed to go change his shorts, hinting that the fear got the best of him. The streets delivered an even harsher dose of reality. During an IRL stream, a man approached Neon after hearing rumors that he had been throwing around slurs. The moment the guy confronted him, Neon's entire demeanor shifted.
Who, me? I don't. No, I'm kidding, I do. I swear to God I do. I'm trolling.
So I heard on YouTube you're saying like the hard N-word, bro. That's not cool, homie.
Oh, sorry. I won't say it again. I'm joking. I'm joking.
He went from laughing to apologizing instantly, insisting it was a joke and swearing he wouldn't say it again. And then came one of the most infamous clips of his entire IRL era, the robbery. During a stream in the wrong neighborhood, a group of goons surrounded him. They took his shoes, ripped his shirt, checked his pockets, stole his phone, and made him call himself the B-word on camera. Neon looked pale, helpless, and terrified. The guys mocked him, waved his shoes around, and recorded the entire thing on his own phone while he stood there powerless.
Hey, look whose shoes we got. Got his ass lacking. Come on, bro. Got his ass lacking. Hey, what size y'all want? Look at his shirt. Ripped all type of stuff, boy. You know not to come around here talking like that. Oh, we on his ass. Come on, bro. Take his glasses off.
Some viewers believed it was staged because of his history, and he posted it to his Twitter by himself. But whether it was real or fake, the humiliation was undeniable. These moments weren't isolated incidents, they were proof that the character Neon played online couldn't survive offline. Every insult he'd ever thrown, every slur he'd ever used, every fake persona he performed eventually dragged him into the confrontations he couldn't win. And each time it happened, his reputation took another hit, pushing him further into the spiral that defined his phase of his career. One of the ugliest turning points in Neon's IRL era came when he decided to mock the Naughty Bop, a dance connected to the death of Didi Osama's younger brother, Nati Osama. It was one of these moments where Neon's ignorance met real street consequences. During a late-night stream, he danced and joked about the situation without understanding the weight behind it. Didi Osama saw the clip and did not take it lightly. He pulled up on Neon in the middle of the night and confronted him while Neon was streaming outside with his manager. Within seconds, the situation escalated. Didi and his people rushed them, swung on Neon, and chased him down the street. Neon stumbled and scrambled, barely escaping as the stream captured everything in shaky panic. It was one of the rawest humiliations he had faced yet, because it was rooted in something deeply personal for the artist he offended. 2 months later, Didi Osama confronted him again, but this time Neon had already learned his lesson. He didn't try to talk back or make excuses. He apologized instantly.
You don't know where I come from. Like, you not from the streets, baby boy. Like, you was really a nerd, baby boy. You was really a nerd, baby boy. I'm trying to tell you, like, look at me. Why you not looking at me?
Sorry, my bad.
Yo, Woo, it's not even, why you not paying attention?
So I'm nervous,
you know how
bro.
I feel right now? I feel like out you.
I'm sorry,
but
bro.
I'm not, because what I'm...
Didi made him repeat the apology in front of his boys, forcing Neon to acknowledge that he didn't understand the seriousness of what he mocked. It was the first time Neon openly said he wasn't built for the streets, and the moment stuck with viewers because he looked genuinely scared and defeated. But the humiliations didn't stop there. In Los Angeles, Neon ended up in another confrontation during a party stream. It started when a girl was pulled away from talking to him, and Neon responded by bragging about how his money could get him any girl he wanted. The group of guys around him didn't take the flex seriously and laughed directly in his face. When they asked him who he even was, Neon grew irritated and told them to search him up.
You can get a girl? What do you have, money? You got money? What do you have?
Got good money for myself, yo. You don't need money. You just need money. You don't want to be the money, James. I don't care. How much money you got? I got the phone. It's not all about money. You can have as much money as you want.
You're right. You're right, bro.
I'm sure you can.
They kept pressing him and followed him outside. The moment he realized they weren't joking and that the situation was turning serious, his confidence evaporated. He immediately backed down, claiming he was trolling, and tried to smooth things over. Each of these moments wasn't just humiliating because of the violence or confrontation, they were humiliating because they revealed the same thing over and over, that Neon's loud, toxic persona only existed in the safety of a screen. In real life, it collapsed anytime someone pushed back. The deeper Neon went into IRL chaos, the more doors began to close on him, and one of the biggest slams came from the UFC. Right before UFC 296, Neon posted on Instagram claiming he was going to confront Donald Trump at the event. It was classic Neon, another attempt to stir controversy and bait attention by attaching himself to powerful names. But this time, the organization he tried to use didn't find it funny. When he arrived at the arena, security told him he wasn't allowed inside.
Not allowed in.
What?
They dropped your name specifically.
Huh?
They just dropped your name specifically, bro. They said Neon is not allowed in.
In the stadium?
Yes.
What? There's no way.
No.
Dana White addressed the situation during a press conference, and he didn't hold back. He said Neon deserved to be kicked out, and made it clear the UFC wasn't interested in giving clout to people who make threats or say stupid things online for attention.
Some stupid shit on Instagram, and when you start saying stupid shit like that, yeah, you're probably going to get busted up and thrown out of here, making threats and talking dumb shit, looking for clout.
Dana dismissed him bluntly, saying he didn't care what Neon claimed he was going to do, and pointing out that Neon's behavior was exactly the kind of nonsense that gets people banned. For Neon, who had always tried inserting himself into big-name spaces for relevance, getting publicly disowned by one of the most influential figures in sports was a brutal moment. By late 2023, Neon's career had reached a point where the chaos was no longer entertaining, it was concerning. The content that once relied on shock value started sliding into outright self-destruction. In an attempt to keep people watching, he began offering money to strangers on stream to punch him in the face. It wasn't a joke or some high-energy bit, it was desperation disguised as content. Viewers saw a kid who had run out of ideas and was now resorting to letting people hit him just so he could stay relevant for another hour. At the same time, the Nate Diaz humiliation clip resurfaced and went even more viral. The image of Neon running, panicking, begging, and apologizing while Diaz's people approached him became a symbol of everything wrong with his online persona. His bravado had collapsed so dramatically that the clip was shared everywhere as proof that Neon wasn't tough, wasn't confident, and wasn't who he pretended to be on stream. By the end of 2023, the audience was tired. The cycles of drama, fake stunts, reckless behavior, humiliations, and half-hearted apologies had burned out his viewer base. His streams, which once hit massive numbers on Kick, started to dip. Viewers weren't tuning in to see what he would do next, they were tuning out, because they already knew it would be another spiral. Even commentary creators began labeling him one of the most hated streamers on the internet, citing his racism, disrespect, stage drama, and constant self-inflicted controversies. For the first time in years, Neon was no longer rising, he was crumbling. But early 2024 marked a turning point that surprised a lot of people. After getting pressed repeatedly by creators he disrespected, after being chased, slapped, confronted, robbed, and banned, Neon finally started to understand what everyone had been telling him for years. He realized that reckless talk online leads to real consequences offline. The street confrontations, the creators pressing him on site, the fear in his voice during certain streams. All of it added up to the same lesson he'd been ignoring. He couldn't keep insulting people and assuming nothing would happen. He couldn't keep acting untouchable when half the industry wanted to check him in person. And somewhere in that string of humiliations, something clicked. Neon began to understand how disliked he truly was across the streaming world. People didn't avoid him because he was edgy, they avoided him because he had built a reputation as someone toxic, rude, and impossible to associate with without harm to their own brand. Once that became undeniable, he started taking the first real steps toward changing. The shift wasn't instant, but it was visible. He began controlling his mouth more on streams. He started distancing himself from the reckless persona that had defined his rise. For the first time since he'd entered the scene, Neon seemed aware of how badly he had damaged his own name. This was the beginning of his redemption arc. Not the performative one from 2019, where he claimed no more toxic Neon and immediately got worse. This was real reflection triggered by real consequences, and it marked the first time Neon looked toward rebuilding instead of ruining his career. By 2025, Neon's content had shifted so dramatically that people almost didn't recognize him anymore. The constant slurs, rage fits, and shock value insults that had defined his brand for years were finally gone. He'd stopped using racist language entirely, cut down the toxic persona, and began presenting himself with a level of restraint no one thought he was capable of. And as his behavior improved, so did his opportunities. In 2025, for the first time in his career, Neon began collaborating with people who would never have gone near him in his toxic era. Real athletes, real names, real professionals. He streamed with Cowboys star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, a collaboration that made the internet stop and take him seriously for a moment. He then expanded that success by streaming with NBA players like Miles Bridges and Malik Beasley, both of whom brought legitimacy and credibility to his platform.
What is up with you guys, chat? We are in Charlotte, North Dakota. We are here with the one and only Miles Bridges, chat. It's gonna be a great stream today. Everyone put a W.
These weren't chaotic collabs with troublemakers or streamers known for drama. These were players with established careers and reputations. And the fact that they were willing to sit with Neon spoke volumes about how much he had changed. But the moment that truly defined his redemption arc came from a collaboration no one expected, his stream with LiAngelo Ball. It started out like any other guest appearance, but the entire tone of his career shifted when LiAngelo played a snippet of his unreleased song, Tweaker. The clip went viral overnight. For once, Neon wasn't the problem in the room. He wasn't the threat. He was helping create moments, not destroy them. The redemption arc didn't come from a speech or an apology video, it came from a consistent pattern of better behavior, more mature content, and collaborations that validated his efforts. By 2025, Neon wasn't begging the industry to forgive him, he was earning it. Neon's redemption arc didn't just hinge on better behavior, it required him to confront the damage he'd done. In 2025, he embarked on what essentially became a public apology tour, a series of face-to-face reconciliations where he sought out people he had disrespected or feuded with and took accountability in a way the old Neon never would have considered. One of the earliest apologies came toward Plaqueboy Max, a streamer Neon had mocked and belittled during his toxic rise. The apology wasn't scripted or clipped for views. He approached Max directly, admitted that he had crossed the line repeatedly, and acknowledged how his own insecurities fueled the behavior. Max didn't accept the apology, but the gesture showed Neon's intent to rebuild relationships he had burned. He repeated the same pattern with Hassan, another creator he had insulted during the peak of his shocking, rage-driven online persona.
Where streamers from all corners of the internet came together. Neon went out of his way to move around the entire building and personally apologize to everyone.
He offered personal apologies, shook hands, and owned the moments where he'd crossed boundaries. It wasn't a grand performance, it was a quiet, humbling circuit of accountability that helped people see he was genuinely trying to change. But the most emotional and complicated apology involved Dub and his son Whoop. Dub confronted Neon directly at the same event, making it clear he still held serious resentment from the disrespect Neon had shown to his son years earlier. Instead of deflecting, Neon stood there and apologized in full, face to face, without excuses. The apology didn't dissolve the tension immediately, but Dub accepted it long enough to walk away without escalating the situation. A few days later, Neon followed up with a more personal gesture. He met with Whoop directly, apologized again for the disrespect, and gifted him an apology Rolex. It was symbolic more than anything, a way of showing that he understood the weight of what he had said and wanted to put the past fully behind them.
If he apologized, he just had to apologize to me. The internet is the internet, but real life is real life.
No, for sure.
That's what I was doing.
And that's the problem with me, bro. When I was saying all those things, it was behind a screen. So I didn't really realize. Be honest, like, if you're on Fortnite or anything, like, you say some crazy stuff.
Even then, Dub later went live and admitted he still didn't trust Neon, arguing that the apology seemed more like a strategic move than an authentic one. But even with that skepticism, Neon's willingness to confront every person he had wronged marked a clear shift from the chaotic kid who used to laugh at consequences. It showed that redemption for him wasn't just about changing his content, it was about repairing the relationships he had damaged along the way. Today, Neon still occupies a strange space in the streaming world. The constant slurs, the reckless confrontations, the shock value cruelty that once defined him had noticeably faded. In their place was a version of Neon who understood restraint, who thought before he spoke, and treated people with a level of respect most viewers had never seen from him before. It wasn't a complete transformation, but it was a clear evolution. Even those who disliked him had to admit he wasn't the kid he had been. Still, the public remained deeply divided on what his transformation actually meant. Some believed the redemption arc was real, that the humiliation, confrontations, bans, and industry backlash had forced him to grow up and look inward. They saw a kid who made mistakes, got checked repeatedly, and finally learned from the consequences. But others argued the change was strategic, a calculated rebrand driven by self-preservation rather than sincerity. They pointed to his new collaborations, cleaner image, and attempts to rebuild burned bridges as proof that he was simply adjusting to what the industry now demanded from him. The truth, as always with Neon, probably lived somewhere in between. He was still flawed, still learning, and still capable of slipping into old habits. But in 2025, he stood as someone undeniably more mature than the reckless figure he had been. Whether you believed in his growth or not, one thing was impossible to deny. Neon had rewritten the trajectory of his career, and for the first time in years, he seemed determined to keep it pointed upward.
And I was like, I need to save this footage. I was prepared. I took the mini SD cards and took them and shoved it up my butt.
And I'm here today to apologize to all the people that are listening to me right now, to the whole world, to all the people that are let down. I'm so sorry.
You can't be sorry today and do the same nasty or even worse thing tomorrow thinking it'll all be fine. This is the cycle of one of the internet's most provocative pranksters on the planet, marked by aggressive behaviors.
Well, shut the f*** up, because I do whatever the f*** I want. What, are you gonna follow me?
I'm not gonna follow you. From being really annoying to bystanders.
Look at the pipes and everything you have. It's a needle.
No, it's a...
it's a dabber, huh? What is that?
To beat up a woman for no apparent reason and inappropriately touching people in the wrong way, and making his mother cry out for help over his unstable behavior during a live video.
I need help.
This is the rise and fall of Vitali, the prankster who made himself the laughingstock of the world. Despite being one of the biggest pranksters, if not the biggest on the internet, Vitali struggled with contentment, betrayal, ignorance, youthful delusion, and emotional instability.
Dude, I got too much money, way too fast. You know,
Young.
Yeah, young.
Notably, shortly after turning 18, he appeared in a brief scene for an adult entertainment company, Bang Bros, an unconventional stint that he discussed openly with his audience.
I don't know, so my friend hit me, I was like, yo, you want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And
most of these stunts are not entirely tied to his background. Vitali has Russian origins. He was born in Russia and grew up in Ukraine before moving to the United States. This should have been a bond he held tightly, but he let down those closest to him for the sake of people who valued not him, but only what he had to offer.
Accident happened.
And then none
True
of them...
callers showed up. The people that expected to text me never texted me. The people that I less expected all texted me.
His sentiments were based on the fact that those he cut ties with were the ones reaching out to him when he was down, especially when he was arrested for serious crimes. More on that later. While the people he called friends stayed away. This betrayal cost him millions of dollars to a point where he was broke. This pushed him to create a brand called Make Money, Not Friends.
Just know this Make Money Not Friends is mine. I own this. I trademark with the best lawyers in the world.
But did Vitali always have a very hard and bumpy life throughout his online career? Well, not quite. He began his journey on YouTube in 2010, and now has around 10 million subscribers on his channel. Vitali started the channel because he'd always wanted to become a famous movie star.
Why do you think you always wanted to be like famous or be an actor?
I think the Terminator movie, that's why I did the Terminator monologue. After Terminator 2, bro, I wanted to be like Arnold.
You saw Arnold, you like
Prank videos back then were real, shocking, and raw. He was innovative in the way he approached making them. One of the oldest videos on his YouTube channel shows him going around his neighborhood, disturbing the peace of people just to get a reaction.
Yo, I just want to kiss you.
3 feet away from me right now, all right?
Yo, I just want to kiss you.
Yeah?
I just want to...
Vitali also posted a prank video where he pretended to be transgender, subtly pushing people into awkward and annoying moments in conversations with him.
My boyfriend, why are you walking away from me like that? Hey, babe. What you mean? Remember last time at the hotel?
But his big break into stardom, and his first true viral moment, came when he posted a video titled Miami Zombie Attack Prank. In it, he dressed up as a zombie and chased terrified people through the streets, sending viewers into a thrill and gaining his place as one of YouTube's wildest pranksters. This prank was inspired by a real-life incident in Miami. Vitali dressed as a bloodied zombie and terrified people in a poor Miami neighborhood, using shock humor that quickly pulled in millions of views. Today, the video has racked up over 33 million views on YouTube. After this big break, it marked the true beginning of fame for the young Vitali. The prank was heavily criticized for being insensitive, and in many people's eyes, racist. Vitali ran through a mostly black neighborhood, which some viewers called a racist attempt to humiliate the local black community. The backlash likely came from a stereotype that black people always avoid scary situations, a trope often used to explain why they rarely fall into the trap in horror movies. Vitali kept posting prank videos, and by then, he had established himself in the extreme prank YouTube community. But one of his biggest issues was that many of his pranks crossed legal lines, often landing him in trouble.
You just sold crack down the street? Was that you? No. African American, male, glasses. Is that you?
Crack? No.
Crack. Now, what you do? I know you got something in your pockets. What you got?
In early 2012, he filmed a video where he harassed random people by impersonating a police officer, even going as far as making false allegations at black men on camera.
Why are you trying to steal his camera? What? Wait, why'd you say why? Because what?
I didn't try to steal his...
No, but you said why? Because what?
Because I'm black.
Oh, hell no. I can make you white in 2 seconds. Let me jerk off.
Impersonating cops is one thing, but doing it in black communities, given the long history of tension, was something else entirely. And many saw it as completely unacceptable. Some viewers also voiced their concerns in the comments about him impersonating a police officer. One person wrote, "Isn't impersonating a cop illegal?" As a result, he was arrested in March 2012 on 2 counts of impersonating an officer, though the charges were later dropped. By then, of course, he was already making big checks from YouTube and had enough money to afford a good lawyer. Just when it seemed like there would be no more trouble and that Vitali might tone down his extreme behavior, he landed in hot water again, this time just weeks after his last arrest, with a Russian hitman video. Vitali had made Russian hitman videos in the past, pulling off all kinds of wild stunts. But this one was different. He actually took something that wasn't his, and to make it worse, he did it right in front of a cop. What is unclear is whether he knew the cops were there when he did this or not.
That's my bag.
No, it's not your bag.
It's my bag.
That's not your bag.
The matter was eventually resolved, but the cops who were at the scene had witnessed everything. Since it all happened right in front of them, they knew Vitali was up to something mischievous.
Want to go to jail? Because we could do this, okay? Get going. Now.
I've been to jail for a very long time.
Okay.
But the hitman video that truly landed Vitali in serious legal trouble was a stunt where he approached a stranger with a briefcase, implying it contained a bomb, and gave the man 60 seconds to run.
I don't know which one is one of you. Your life, your choice. 60 seconds.
The terrified target immediately called the police, and Vitali, along with an accomplice, most likely his cameraman, was arrested on felony bomb hoax charges, facing the possibility of serious prison time.
After being arrested for a bomb hoax, police say pretending to have a...
Although the bomb threat charges were ultimately dismissed, Vitali showed little remorse, saying, "I'm just sad the person got that upset." One of the reasons he got lucky with this case was that he never explicitly claimed in the video that the box contained a bomb. Instead, he only said, "Your life, your choice."
Your life, your choice. 60 seconds. Yes, transactions come.
Almost a year later, likely to send a message to viewers all around the world who were watching him closely, he posted yet another Russian hitman video.
Oh my goodness. What are you, the Treasury Department?
I guess that was his way of giving back to the community while still staying in character as the villain he was known to be. For the most part, when you look back at people's reactions from that time, he was actually appreciated. Many loved what he did and admired his creativity and provocative way of creating content. Some even commented, "Can't believe this fool actually went to jail for our entertainment." By 2013, Vitali's channel was moving fast in popularity, though questions about the ethics of his content still lingered. That same year, he scored one of YouTube's fastest growing videos with his viral hit, the Gold Digger Prank.
What's up, cutie? Hey. What's going on?
Not too much.
Hey, I was looking at you and I thought you were really pretty and I wanted to get your number. Is that too much to ask for, or?
You know,
let's go out to dinner.
I usually go out to dinner with people.
Oh yeah, who you go to dinner? By yourself?
Sometimes.
Oh wow. That's I don't usually ask twice, but you sure you don't want to go out with me?
Your car?
Yeah, it's my car. Why?
Well, I might be able to go out to dinner with you.
You might.
There's a bar down the street if you want to go.
There's what?
There's a bar down the street.
Oh, now you want to. Too bad. I don't like gold diggers.
This social experiment racked up over 18 million views in its first week, and now sits at around 48 million views. While many viewers found it entertaining, others started accusing Vitali of staging his pranks for clout, claiming that some of the random participants were actually actors. Maybe it was because the pranks seemed too good to be true, or the setups looked more arranged than real. But one of his friends, Roman Atwood, who had made content with him in the past, recently vouched for Vitali, defending the originality of his pranks.
Never at any time was a single one of those pranks fake, to my knowledge. And I remember many times going up to the producers after a reaction.
Yeah, we asked.
And we were like...
The Gold Digger prank was one of the first of its kind, and many say Vitali was the very first to pull it off. One person commented, "He was the first one to make a Gold Digger prank," while another added, "The birth of Gold Digger pranks." Someone even went further, suggesting Vitali should have claimed full ownership of the idea. He needs to copyright the idea. As his fame kept growing, Vitali took things up a notch with wild public stunts, many of which got him arrested and splashed across the news. One big turning point came in July 2014, when he ran onto the field during a FIFA World Cup final in Brazil.
It's about to happen. I'm
World Cup finals. Germany, Argentina, 2014. I'm attempting to do it. 5 minutes, I'm in the field.
Vitali sprinted onto the pitch during the second half of the championship match with the words "natural-born prankster" painted across his bare chest. He even tried to kiss German player Benedikt Hoedes before security finally tackled him to the ground.
This is my friend Yusuf. He's gonna check it out. And if you see this, my channel is Vitaly Zdorovetskiy.
He's crazy, man.
But some people started questioning his stunt, with one person asking, "There was Messi, Neuer, Götze, Müller, Boateng, etc. on the pitch, and he goes and kisses Hoedes?" That's a good and hilarious question, but it's likely he just went for the first person he could reach to get a quick reaction for his prank. While some people enjoyed the stunt, others didn't see it as a sensible thing to do. One person commented, "Normally, I'm a fan, but very uncool. This game was very important to some of us, a once-in-a-lifetime event." Brazilian police arrested him, and he had to pay a fine to be released. The stunt made global headlines and boosted Vitali's reputation for pulling off wild, daredevil publicity grabs. It was arguably one of the peak moments of his career in terms of boldness and stubbornness, even though officials and plenty of viewers slammed it as reckless. Over the next few years, Vitali kept doing the same thing, crashing major events with his outrageous stunts. Each one brought him more controversy, more media attention, and of course, more legal trouble. Starting with the Hollywood sign, Vitali actually climbed the iconic landmark as part of one of his vlog stunts. It was risky, over the top, and totally in line with his brand of pranks. You could even hear the cops yelling, "Get back down now, you're trespassing!" But of course, Vitali didn't listen and kept climbing until he reached the sign. Someone pointed out something pretty funny about that moment, saying, "The cop sounds like he likes you and wants you to continue climbing, but it's his job, so he sounds sad to tell you."
Oh, yeah, if you get on this thing, you're good.
After putting in a lot of effort to climb up the sign, he pulled out a flag with the words "I'm back" written on it and waved it proudly for a while. He was later arrested for trespassing after making it to the top of the sign.
As a YouTube prankster, moments ago, climbed to the top of the Hollywood sign, he is now standing in handcuffs. He is in custody under arrest. Our coverage continues.
The stunt itself was relatively harmless, but it pushed authorities to tighten security around the landmark. According to a source, Jeff Zerenum, chair of the Hollywood Sign Trust, said numerous measures have been taken to prevent people from climbing to and onto the sign. The area above the Hollywood sign is fenced along a trail leading to Mount Lee, and it is a treacherous hike from below to reach the sign. The trust funded the security cameras that monitor the sign 24 hours. Some cameras are mounted to the actual sign itself. Vitali's video of the climb grabbed plenty of attention, but not everyone understood the seriousness of what Vitali did. One person questioned those criticizing him. Why do American police waste so much assets and money for someone that just climbs a sign? The main reason is that the Hollywood sign is private property, not a tourist spot where people are allowed to climb. Another commenter explained, probably expensive, and the broken parts could fall to the houses and cause casualties. Also, it's historical. Just a month later, he pulled another stunt, this time streaking the court during Game 4 of the NBA Finals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. To top it off, he had unexpected messages written across his body, making sure all eyes were on him when he hit the floor.
Okay guys, you ready to see the final product? Trump sucks. And then LeBron for president. That's right.
The reason he was repping LeBron James was because back in the 2014 World Cup final, LeBron actually made a video of Vitali and posted it on his page, which Vitali acknowledged.
You guys know LeBron James was the first person to videotape me running across the World Cup pitch in 2014. King James.
Vitali eventually sprinted across the basketball court in the middle of the game before getting tackled and arrested for criminal trespass. Fans in the arena and commentators reacted with shock and annoyance at the sudden interruption. The incident grabbed some brief news coverage, but was mostly remembered as another wild Vitali moment. In another wild stunt, Vitali took his antics to baseball's biggest stage. During Game 5 of the 2017 MLB World Series at Minute Maid Park in Houston, he stormed the field right after Carlos Correa hit a home run. Yet again, security caught him and he was arrested for trespassing. But one person pointed out the business side of it all, saying he made at least $3 grand off this video and his bail was $500. Smart investment. By this point, storming fields had basically become a Vitali trademark. His sports arena stunts were covered widely in the media, usually with an exasperated tone. Many people saw them as childish grabs for attention that could have easily put players or fans at risk. Despite all the bad press and run-ins with the law, these over-the-top pranks actually shot Vitali's fame through the roof. By 2017, he had racked up more than 9 million YouTube subscribers and even scored a Hollywood deal. Teaming up with fellow YouTubers Roman Atwood and Dennis Rohde, he released a prank movie called Natural Born Pranksters. Notably, however, YouTube and mainstream media were growing less tolerant of such antics. By the late 2010s, YouTube's policies tightened, and prank channels faced stricter moderation and demonetization. Vitali himself later noted that many of his videos were getting demonetized by YouTube around this period, as the platform cracked down on content deemed too dangerous or offensive.
My YouTube channel is demonetized. I never got my diamond plaque for 10 million subscribers.
A lot went down before all the demonetization drama kicked in. Those were some of the roughest times for Vitali, and we'll look into that in a bit. By 2018, he started pushing the envelope even further, going beyond what YouTube would allow. That's when he launched his own X-rated subscription site called Vitali Uncensored, a platform for pranks and stunts that were way too wild for YouTube and Instagram.
We partner up, 52 employees working in the Vitali Uncensored office in Chicago. So like I said, I have nothing to worry about.
His new venture mixed softcore adult content with prank-style entertainment. To promote the site, Vitali staged outrageous publicity stunts and often roped in his close associates to pull them off.
What's up, villains? Welcome to another video. Today, I'm with my girlfriend, Kinsey, and we're doing a prank called, Are You Looking at My Girlfriend's Tit?
In June 2019, his then-girlfriend, Kinsey Walensky, made international headlines when she streaked during the UEFA Champions League final in Madrid, rocking a skimpy one-piece swimsuit with Vitali Uncensored splashed across the front. A month later, during the July 2019 Cricket World Cup final at Lord's, Vitali's own mother, Elena Volitsky, tried to pull off a similar stunt by rushing the pitch in a Vitali Uncensored outfit. This time, though, security stopped her before she could make it all the way onto the field.
You ready, Elena? You good? Let's do it. Let's do it.
On both occasions, his mother and ex-girlfriend were detained by authorities. The consequences were real, too. Kinsey, for example, ended up getting banned from future football matches. The reason why Vitali is using people around him to promote his work is that he has been banned from most of those sporting events where he can do the promo personally.
One time I got to the locker room and they're like, that has a wig on. Can't show. So I got caught there. Then the third time I went there, I didn't want to go.
He had tried it all, from using fake IDs to disguising himself with scarves and wigs, but none of it worked. That's why he eventually resorted to involving people close to him to pull off the stunts. But it was embarrassing seeing Vitali's mother make the failed attempt. Someone said, "Worst attempt ever." It's messed up that Vitali would use his own mother for something like that. 2020 was the year things really started crashing down for Vitaly Zdorovetskiy. 2 major incidents that year brought him loads of bad press and serious legal trouble. The first came in January, when he traveled to Egypt and illegally climbed the Great Pyramid of Giza just to film a video. Climbing the ancient pyramids is strictly forbidden, and Vitali knew it. That's why he rushed to beat the authorities trying to stop him. Still, he managed to make it to the top and capture the breathtaking view before descending the pyramid.
I climbed up. Beautiful, beautiful view. The energy was sun's actually.
Absolutely breathtaking. This is incredible, guys.
When he finally reached the top, Vitali already knew arrest was waiting for him. Sure enough, the moment he climbed back down, the authorities were there. Since climbing the pyramid is strictly prohibited, the police never even tried to go after him during the climb. They just waited at the bottom.
Uh-oh. Got military. Guys, I will explain it.
After getting the video he wanted from the top of the pyramid, Vitali figured the smartest move was to protect the footage. So he came up with a plan to hide the storage card from the GoPro camera he used.
And I was like, I need to save this footage. I was prepared. I took the mini SD cards into a condom and shoved it up my butt.
With that, he believed the SD card was safe and that he'd be able to recover it after his arrest. He did this because he wasn't sure if the Egyptian authorities would confiscate or destroy the camera along with its contents. When he finally came down, Egyptian authorities immediately arrested him at the base. He ended up spending 5 days in jail for the stunt.
And first thing they do when they get to jail, my ass cheeks.
No
like, I am talking
way.
about not just like.
Is that maybe because they saw you digging up there?
No, nobody saw it, dude.
Luckily for Vitali, the authorities didn't find anything when they checked him. During the 5 days he spent in jail, he even refused to eat enough so he wouldn't need to use the toilet, doing everything he could to keep the SD card safe.
Nah. So I don't poop for 5 days, right? Because I was waiting to get out of jail.
He also tried sending the footage to his WhatsApp before coming down the pyramid just in case. Vitali later described the whole ordeal as one of the worst experiences he's ever had with law enforcement. Eventually, when he finally had a moment to himself, he tried to recover the hidden SD card.
So like, dude, I can't hold this poop anymore. I gotta go poop. I go poop, the condom comes out, but the SD cards are gone.
Huh?
I don't know.
In the end, all that stress was for nothing. Vitali was eventually deported and permanently banned from ever entering Egypt. It was almost as if the mystical power hidden inside the pyramid had laid a curse on Vitali. Just weeks after the Egypt incident, he did something that completely destroyed his life. And from that moment on, even 5 years later, his story has been nothing but one challenge after another. The far more serious incident came in April 2020. Vitali was arrested in Miami Beach, Florida, after brutally attacking a woman, an event completely outside the realm of pranks. So what was the reason behind this shocking behavior? According to Vitali himself, he blamed it on mushrooms.
The normal dose of taking mushrooms to get high is 3.5 grams. I was taking 30.
Despite the normal dose being around 3.5 grams, and Vitali usually taking about 30 grams, something in him pushed him over the edge that day, and he ended up taking a massive 60 grams of mushrooms.
So I decided to double my dosage. I took 60 grams of mushrooms. That's 17 times more than an average person should take.
This massive overdose completely warped his sense of reality, making him feel like the whole world was collapsing. In that state, he thought the best thing to do was run outside for help, since according to him, the people with him inside weren't responding to his desperate cries.
The whole world is stripping. I poisoned the whole world, and I said, everyone hates me. I was panicking, and I'm like, please guys, shut up. And they keep trying laughing and talking to me. I'm
they're
like,
watching you go crazy.
I'm going crazy. So I live like a block away from the beach. So I just started jogging to the beach. I was like,
and it was at this point that he ran into people outside while looking for help. But things took a dark turn. According to the police report and witness statements, a female jogger out for a run on Easter Sunday was suddenly attacked by Vitali.
Last thing I remember is, please help. And I tried to hug her, and she pushed me or whatever. And I hit her.
The victim had no connection to Vitali and was horrified by the random attack. Bystanders who heard her screams rushed to help, and Vitali ended up fleeing into a nearby home, where police later arrested him. Vitali later claimed he wasn't trying to flee, but was simply making his way back to his own house.
I realized what I was doing on top of her, and I was like, what the f-? And I didn't even run back to the house. The article says I tried to hit my house. I didn't know what was happening. I walked back to the house,
Later that same day, police showed up at his house and officially arrested him for the assault. Even though he was cuffed without much trouble, reality hit him once they tried to put him into the police car, and that's when he started resisting, refusing to get inside.
Guys, how do you want to do this? Get up and sit in there. Get up and sit in there.
He was eventually forced into the car, screaming and mumbling things that no one could really make out. Later, he admitted that he thought the cops were tripping, as he put it, and claimed he was just trying to explain himself while they were shoving him into the back seat.
I was gonna try to tell him, if you turn off your sirens and you stop talking and let me go to sleep, I'll wake up sober and you guys will be sober. But when you're on mushrooms, you can't put that much mushrooms. You can't.
On the ride to the station, Vitali even tried striking up a conversation with the cop who was driving him.
You still got that mask on? I'm alright. I'm okay. No, you don't. Where you going? Going to Miami Beach Police Station.
Even when they got him to the police station, the mushrooms were still messing with his head, and his orientation was off.
Let me see. Put your hands here. Check it out, see? I'm gonna put them in the front. You gotta leave your mask on, though. Okay, mask has to go on. Put it over your face.
Not long after, while still being transported, Vitali slowly started coming to his senses and realized he might be in some serious trouble this time. So he called out to the cop and tried to explain himself. Someone with past experience using such substances shared their perspective, saying, as a veteran of hallucinogen consumption, the #1 rule is never ever take them when you're in a bad place in your life.
First of all, I don't know why I wanted to attack this girl for no fucking reason. No one's gonna forgive me about this.
Someone also pointed out an interesting detail about the arrest, saying the cop arresting him was really nice, talking to him like a human despite his crime and being on drugs, then putting him in looser cuffs once he calmed down so that he wasn't in pain. What a great cop. Vitali was charged with felony aggravated battery. His Miami-Dade County jail mugshots showed him shirtless, sunburned, and grinning in custody, an image that sparked outrage once it hit the press. News of his violent arrest spread fast across major outlets. Fans and fellow YouTubers reacted with shock and disgust that he would attack an innocent person. This time, Vitali's long pattern of reckless, aggressive behavior was a real crime under the spotlight. He later revealed that he wrote an apology letter to the woman he attacked.
I did her apology letter. Like, obviously she shouldn't forgive me, but how sorry. And that's not me. I didn't know her. I didn't know.
Vitali was released on a $7,500 bond while awaiting trial. The woman he attacked went on to file a civil lawsuit, but in the end, Vitali reached a private settlement with her, which ultimately led to the criminal charge being dropped.
I'm still not allowed to talk about how it ended, but okay. My charges got dismissed. Yeah,
like as in she dropped them, or like your lawyers got them dropped? Or
my lawyers came to agreement, but I can't say more than that.
From that, it's clear that Vitali and his lawyer likely persuaded the woman to drop the charges to avoid even more public backlash against him. Settling the case must have cost him a fortune, possibly millions, which could have pushed him into serious financial trouble at the time. To make matters worse, most, if not all, of his brand deals and partnerships were called off, leaving him stranded career-wise. On top of everything, he also lost his $6 million mansion during this rough period.
Yeah, dude, I was broken. I lost next day. All my brand deals dropped me. I was making so much money from brand deals.
The damage to his career was already done. In the aftermath, Vitali lost monetization opportunities on his social media, especially YouTube, and his public image took a massive hit, even among fans who once supported him. Vitali later admitted the incident pushed him into a deep depression.
Oh, about suicidally, I lost the house. I didn't want to walk on the streets, bro. I was just so embarrassed, man. I didn't want to get to a grocery store. I didn't want to buy water. I didn't want to do anything. I just didn't want to do anything.
This April 2020 battery case became a huge turning point. It basically ended Vitali's run as a mainstream YouTube prankster and forced him to step away from the spotlight for a while. He disappeared for over 2 years. His first time showing up on camera again was in July 2022, when he appeared on a podcast to talk about everything that had happened. Someone summed up the whole situation by saying, "This guy really hit rock bottom. Dude went from a tasteless prankster to being arrested multiple times for multiple reasons to his entire career being destroyed, and has no one but himself to blame for it. Before appearing on Roman Atwood's podcast, Vitali had already uploaded an apology video on his channel, addressed to the woman he had assaulted, as well as to his fans and critics for what he had done months ago.
To let you know what I've been going through in my life for the last 2 years and why I stopped uploading. And I was hanging around wrong people, the fame got to my head, I started abusing drugs and alcohol.
One thing to note is that the apology video was originally attached to Roman Atwood's podcast video with Vitali, but it has since been deleted from Vitali's own page. I was able to find clips of it from other sources. The video was likely taken down because of the backlash. It didn't show the level of remorse people had expected after what he had done. Instead of focusing on the victim, Vitali opened the video by making excuses, talking about hanging around the wrong people and using substances, when viewers really just wanted him to address the woman he assaulted directly.
Because of drugs and alcohol, I got into serious legal trouble. A legal trouble that I'll remember, regret, and have to live with for the rest of my life.
I agree. The apology probably would have felt more genuine if Vitali had just straight up admitted he messed up without trying to wrap it around the substances he was using at the time. People already knew about his substances, so bringing it up again only made it sound like an excuse. What most viewers wanted was simple accountability and a sincere acknowledgement of the harm he caused.
And I'm here today to apologize to all the people that are listening to me right now, to the whole world, to all the people that are let down. I'm so sorry.
Up until this point in the video, Vitali kept blaming the substances he took and focused his apology on fans and people who looked up to him. But here's the thing, he never actually apologized to the woman he assaulted. He only mentioned the assault as a legal issue that got him into trouble, which made the apology feel hollow and detached.
And nobody to blame but myself. People that I thought were my friends weren't my friends, and I just fell into depression. I lost everything because of that. And like I said, I'm not here to blame anybody but myself.
Nobody to blame but myself, he admitted. Yet he still couldn't resist bringing up the fact that people he trusted weren't there for him. He also tried to paint himself as someone who had gone through a tough experience because of his own actions, which, to be fair, he really had. And this was expected to have given people the idea that he had paid for his sins. From there, he shifted the focus to telling his fans about his sober journey.
I've been sober for 7 months, and I feel better than ever. I started to be motivated again. I started wanting to make videos again, for fun, not for business, like it used to be when I...
Most people who listened to the video actually felt it came across as genuine. One person said, "You can tell it's genuine, and he looks sober. When he was on drugs, he looked old. I wish him well." Another added, "You can never please the cancel culture with these apologies, but this one sounded genuine and sincere." Still, not everyone was convinced. Some thought he had other motives behind the video, with one commenter saying, "I believe he's making it for other reasons. He's not sorry." By 2022, Vitali slowly started making a comeback, but this time it wasn't on YouTube. Frustrated with YouTube's stricter rules, he switched over to alternative platforms like Rumble and Kick, places with way looser content moderation, so he could get back to creating the kind of content he wanted.
Every time I ask for a diamond plaque, they find a video to give me a strike, like they just did last week. I asked to be monetized again just to see what they say, and they just deleted 4 videos in one day and gave me a strike.
What happened here was that after Vitali tried to return to posting on YouTube, he asked for his diamond play button for hitting 10 million subscribers, and also requested to be remonetized. But instead of getting what he wanted, YouTube kept hitting him with strikes on his videos every time he uploaded.
You know, the videos.
Oh,
they want me to delete all the videos for me to get a diamond plaque.
With YouTube no longer an option, this marked a major turning point in Vitali's career. Instead of pulling pranks on random people in public, he decided to jump on the rising trend of vigilante-style predator-catching content. In these videos, whenever Vitali corners someone he believes to be a predator, he usually gives them 2 choices.
Was it pretty much you want to walk away or humiliate or call the cops? But
essentially, he reinvented himself as a self-styled pedophile hunter, chasing down online predators, a style of content made famous by shows like To Catch a Predator. Vitali launched a new series on the streaming platform Kick, where he and his team would set up sting operations, luring alleged predators and confronting them on camera.
Special guest flew from Miami, bro. Myron. Thank you, Vitali. Sneeko, how are you? Thanks for having us. Thank you for coming, bro.
Vitali viewed this as his big comeback plan, using his infamy to flip the script and chase a cause that might win back public approval, catching predators. At the same time, he leaned into the shock factor, humiliating these targets on camera to keep the drama and intensity his audience expected.
Is he fully naked?
Oh my god. Alright, here, you look it off now. Oh my gosh.
They usually catch these people on camera in a way that leaves no room for denial. And to make it even clearer, they deliberately point out to the men that the supposed kids are minors, so later on they can't claim that they didn't know how young they were.
What? You're 6? I thought you were 15.
No, I'm 16.
Oh.
Do you guys care? No. You guys don't care?
Well, it's because Fogel's 14, I'm 15, and he's 16. So 14, 15, 16.
The man was just sitting there, probably counting down the moments until the party started, excited by the thought of being with all three of them.
Were you aware that the individuals you met with were underage? I mean, it happens, man. I get it. It is what it is, but were you aware? Yeah.
Even though he admitted to knowing the boys were underage, he claimed it was his first time ever being with that age group, which is hard to believe. For context, the man's name is Victor, and he's 37 years old. And honestly, for someone insisting it was his first time, his backpack told a completely different story.
Do you ever cleaned it?
Yeah. That's your backpack?
Yes.
Oh, don't touch it, man.
It's fine, bro. We always got to take one for the team.
From the looks of it, this man had clearly been at it for a long time. He came prepared with everything he thought he needed to have the best day of his life with the boys, making it obvious this wasn't some one-off situation.
Oh, you're ready for a party.
Hold on, we're not done. We're not fucking done. Let's get it.
Bro, I'm gonna throw up.
Vitali seemed to be having the time of his life running the whole thing. Myron, on the other hand, had his cop's instincts kicking in, watching closely but still enjoying the show. Sneeko, though, was clearly disgusted by the entire situation. For him, this probably wasn't entertainment at all, but more of a traumatic experience.
What are you preparing for? How many kids were gonna come here? Bro, this is entire Walgreens on the couch.
The content definitely pulled in viewers for the shock factor, but it also drew plenty of criticism. Law enforcement in particular didn't see it as entertainment. Some officers warned that confrontations like these could spiral out of control. As one Miami detective put it, you have no idea what these people were capable of when inserted into desperate situations, after Vitali carried out a Florida sting without police involvement. And that's part of the problem. Some of the predators they caught would actually prefer to play along and be humiliated on camera rather than risk being reported to the police, which creates risky situations like this. The vigilante phase quickly brought its own controversies and legal problems. One big example came in 2023, when Vitali teamed up with rapper Lil Pump for a live stream that ended up stirring even more drama.
Yes. Come on, Harris, and we're wiping out the pedals, baby.
Can you believe Quavo fucking endorsed her, bro?
I can't believe you know that. Man, Megan Thee Stallion is the biggest piece of shit in the culture.
Bro.
I hate that bitch.
Damn, that.
Who the performs at a fucking Kamala Harris?
Twerking, bro.
Twerking, like how disrespectful.
Hey, look at our boy. Look at our boy. Look at our boy.
This is the man. This is the man right here. Yeah, this is who should be fucking president, not Kamala Harris' dirty ass.
Vitali definitely took things way too far. During that live stream in 2023 with Lil Pump, he and his crew physically beat up a man they had lured. The guy later filed a lawsuit for assault, claiming he wasn't a predator at all, but an innocent worker who thought he was being paid to clean a yacht, only to get ambushed instead. And while all this was going on, Vitali also claimed he had caught plenty of predators in the entertainment industry.
You caught a Hollywood director, or a Hollywood screenwriter, like meeting up with a young boy or young girl? Yeah.
Not long after, things got even crazier. First, a screenwriter was caught, then a producer, and not long after that, someone who worked for Nickelodeon was exposed too.
It's always either teachers, they work at kindergartens, substitute teachers, or like in the industry in Hollywood.
The predator pattern often seemed to involve people who worked with kids. Maybe that's how they got close enough to act on their urges, or maybe it tied back to some unresolved trauma from their own childhood. Vitali shared this same sentiment too, pointing out how often those in child-related industries showed up in these stings.
They become a teacher,
you think
and
that?
then they fall in love with these old children. What do you think?
I always think Santa Claus guys, like guys that dress up as Santa Claus at malls, are weird.
And the most shocking part of all this is that many of these people preying on kids never actually get arrested or punished, even when everything is caught clearly on camera. In some cases, especially for those with strong connections, they seem to walk away without facing real consequences.
But the news outlets, can you believe the news didn't even pick it up? Like, he is a big enough producer for news to write a story about it.
I was really shocked about that.
Yeah.
Vitali's latest and maybe most damaging controversy went down in the spring of 2025 during an international trip. In late March, he headed to the Philippines and started live streaming his adventures on Kick.
Niya, hindi lamang daw ang BGC kung hindi ang mga lokal ng Boracay earlier into this year dahilan para magkaroon po ng public outrage at marami yung mga opisyal na magreklamo.
What started as a visit to poor areas where he handed out some charity donations on camera.
Okay, give me some cash, please, from my fan. I got you, bro. Yeah, of course, brother. I got you. Yeah, give me more. Give me more. Give me three. Give me three. I gotta give you $60, brother, because you deserve. This is what happened. Yeah, man. You're a legend. Thank you.
Hey, I got a picture.
Yeah.
Quickly spiraled into a chaotic rampage of harassment and law-breaking on the streets of Metro Manila. Between March 31st and April 1st, 2025, Vitali livestreamed himself pulling a string of reckless stunts in the upscale Bonifacio Global City District. And remember, this was after all those interviews where he claimed he was a changed man starting a new chapter in his life. Some of the things he did included harassing random pedestrians and security guards.
Hello. 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 Paparazzi, you are blessing God on a paparazzi.
At one point, he grabbed a security guard's cap off his head repeatedly and taunted him.
No, yes.
He even tried to steal a policeman's motorcycle, managing to briefly ride on it before ditching it. At one point, he went as far as trying to grab another guard's service firearm from its holster, though luckily that attempt failed. Inside a restaurant, Vitali boldly snatched an industrial-sized electric fan and carried it into a hotel just to use it as a prop for his stream.
That's my only fan left in the chat.
Later, he hopped on a motorized tricycle and drove it recklessly through the streets, at one point even running over someone's foot.
Accident.
In one of his most disturbing moments, Vitali threatened to rob an elderly woman on the sidewalk and even hurled a racial slur at her, leaving bystanders shocked and upset.
Chat. Excuse me, madam. I'm gonna fucking rob you if you keep walking away.
Vitali also crossed the line with some locals, doing things that could easily be seen as inappropriate. All of this chaos was streamed live to a horrified audience. Clips from Vitali's Philippines livestream quickly went viral on social media. Many locals felt like he was acting with a kind of colonial-style arrogance and blatant disrespect. Then, on April 3rd, 2025, the reckoning came. Philippine authorities, the Bureau of Immigration, along with local police, showed up at his hotel in Pasay City and arrested him.
Was taken into custody by the Bureau of Immigration following viral videos showing interactions deemed inappropriate by many Filipinos in Bonifacio Global City.
He was first detained as an undesirable alien and marked for deportation. The Bureau of Immigration even issued an order calling him a flight risk and an undesirable foreign national, which blocked any chance of immediate release. To make things worse for him, his Kick channel was quickly suspended once news of the arrest spread, cutting off his main source of streaming income. Philippine authorities later decided to press charges against him under local law before moving forward with deportation. And even in court, Vitali couldn't keep it together. He acted disrespectful and annoying toward the officials handling his case. Clips of Vitali's livestream were played in court to show the chaos he caused, and unbelievably, he thought it was a good idea to clap at his own pranks while watching them back. He was hit with multiple charges, including several counts of unjust vexation, alarm and scandal, attempted theft, and other violations caught on video. Early reports suggested that if the courts stacked the maximum penalties for each offense, he could be facing up to 24 years in prison. This might explain why his mother was recently seen crying out for help over his situation.
I need help.
By May 2025, Vitali's legal team in Manila tried to soften the blow. They filed a petition to Secretary Remulla asking for the charges to be dropped, pointing to Vitali's mental health reasons, and likely hoping his past struggles like the 2020 mushroom incident would earn him some sympathy. But Remulla wasn't having it. He flat out rejected the request. Around the same time, a clip comparing Vitali before and after entering custody in the Philippines went viral on social media, showing just how much the whole ordeal was wearing him down.
Now just look at him before, like all smug, and he's like, hey, it looks like he's laughing anymore. He looks sad and like he's seen some stuff, which he's definitely has seen some stuff in the Philippines.
In an unusual twist, when Philippine authorities reached out to coordinate Vitali's deportation after legal proceedings, both Russia and the United States refused to accept him back during that time. This meant Vitali had to remain incarcerated in the Philippines while awaiting trial. He was moved into the custody of the Philippine Bureau of Jail Management and Penology in June 2025, and later released on bail pending his court hearings. Would Vitali get away with this one as he has done in the past? Will he learn his lesson about making provocative content after being locked up behind bars for months in the Philippines?